time.
We're never on time. That's not a thing. What's up, guys? How's it going? Happy Wednesday.
Hello.
We are here. We are ready to play some D&D. We're excited.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
It is Wednesday, my dudes. Yeah. Rob, you got announcements this week?
I got some. Guys, Monday was tough.
In a good way.
In the best possible way, Monday was tough. There we go. Fixing my lighting here real quick. Oh, well, let's go ahead and start with the thank yous. Let's start with Blackenforge, who followed us just a minute ago. I wonder if they're friends of Grimforge. Is there like a clan forge?
A forge clan.
Also to Amino Gaming 92, thank you for the follow, and also Meggy Moo, Parker Bliss, who is one of our new adventurers, Tom Zero, Gazebo Baklava. We didn't already thank Gazebo Baklava and Omnom at the end of our last stream.
Yeah.
Thank you guys all for being here. I don't remember a lot about Monday night after a certain point, so I don't remember what I didn't thank people for. Hello, found you from Gambit. Oh, cool. Hell yeah, well, S-Jax is here. Cold Rolled Steel is here. Irish Mac, Ellie May is here. Meggy Moo is in the chat for the first time. Oh, lots of friends. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for returning here. We are Misty Mountain Streaming. We are a bunch of friends who are dice nerds and goblins and like to tell and experience great stories, and our favorite way to do that is through Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
We play Dungeons and Dragons. No, that's somebody else's thing. So we had goals, guys. We had goals on Monday stream. We were not even halfway to making certain subscription goals happen, and I don't know which direction the bottom left of the screen is from me right now, but we beat them. And so we had to come up with new goals on the fly, and now we're getting to the point where I had some stuff set aside for a rainy day when I couldn't think of any good sub goals for Twitch. I would find something that Misty Mountain Gaming used to sell that you can't get anymore, and I would make that a prize. So, I do not have the stream pulled up, Rob. Where are we at right now?
For what?
For the little red bar, what does it say?
332 out of 375.
There we go, 332 out of 375. So when we hit 375, it is just slightly off camera. Here, I'll just...
Where's he going?
Okay. People keep asking, hey, when are you going to restock those leather dice trays? The studded ones that have the designs on the inside?
Ooh.
And I found one.
Oh.
So it's got a skull.
Oh, that's so cool.
And some
Cool.
ravens.
Some ravens.
It is leather inside. And it is... I mean, you could say it's reversible, but it's got a little tag right here. But it is gorgeous. It feels so nice.
How's it smell?
And now you'll have Rob face on it. When
like leather.
Ooh.
This is one of the things. This used to go for $50 at our conventions. It was available online only briefly, and they sold very well. And then they didn't, and then we stopped buying more. So this is the only place you can get this little guy. He's the last one. So, free to a good home if the channel reaches its subscription goal by the end of the month. Take it easy, guys. we got time.
And it looks like our good friend
no,
S-Jax
Sarah.
is already starting it again. You queen.
Guys, I want to play D&D before an hour and a half into this stream.
Sarah,
That's
you
not
have
a
learned
joke, because
nothing.
We didn't start until an hour and a half in.
Oh
on
my
Monday.
gosh.
Yeah, we just were here.
It went
Forever.
What did Sarah do?
Gifted 5
Amazing
subs.
things.
Thanks, Sierra.
Aw, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate you. So yeah, that is announcement wise. We are quietly planning for our 1,000 followers stream, but we're not ready to divulge secrets about that just yet. Maddie and I are in talks with last month's winners,
Yeah.
including S-Jax,
Yeah.
and the aforementioned Grim Forge, and the Existential Nerd, and Overnumerousness, to run a one-shot with members of the community here on stream. Hopefully that will all come together next month. That's kind of what we're shooting for, if the stars and schedules align.
Schedules is the real
Also, it is worth noting, as Cheesecake Panda just did, apparently there's some kind of a cap on how many experience points you can contribute to the fund going on for our Monday night campaign to introduce a new custom magic item that I created into their campaign. So even though it's not a Monday, if you were prevented from contributing as much as you wanted to Monday, you can continue to contribute tonight.
Booger, you can't get in the
Hey,
popcorn
I,
bowl.
th- I think I think that's it. I'm not going to a convention for a couple of weeks, so I don't even have any of that to talk about.
Oh, well. That's okay. You'll get caught up.
I can tell everybody that 50 of our gifted subs on Monday came because of this, because I saw a chat pop up that said show the rat for
Yes.
subs.
Thank you, Rat.
So it's Vex's channel now.
Yeah, this
We're all
is
just her little
You wanna-
pawns.
You want to say hello?
I
to
just
everybody?
work here. Mercy.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. We got a
baby.
lot of contributions now.
Thanks, guys.
nice.
Appreciate y'all. We were joking that we were going to have to name the magic item after the largest contributor on Monday.
Totally should.
Shout out to Manny,
Tempted.
my new best
Tempted.
friend.
Ah, boy.
Irish is starting with a dark in the mood,
Oh,
so you're
boy.
aware.
All
Oh,
right.
That didn't take long.
I
Oh, good. It's thawed. I have a pineapple coconut yogurt.
ooh.
Ooh, that sounds so good.
so I have 3 darkened moods banked up.
It's time to darken the damn
Yeah.
mood. Then is
It-
what I would
Gotta
say.
start using them.
Sarah
Oh,
just
Sarah's
submitted a
lightening it.
lighten the mood. So does that balance it
still-
out?
We still have
No.
2 to use, so it's probably better to go ahead and use them so that you don't accumulate a billion. You got to figure out what
I
to do.
know. I gotta.
True.
I gotta figure it out. That was only supposed to be during the actual carnival,
back.
and then we.
We're back to 3. We're back to 3 because somebody else. Who is it? Confused.
Confused
Mind?
mine. All right.
Yeah.
And Grim dropped some subs too. Thanks, Grim. Oh man, it's
Okay.
a party in the chat
Oh,
all over
hey,
again.
thanks, Grim. Hey, your brother showed up a second ago.
Oh yes, another member of the Forge
Of
clan.
another
The
of the
Forge clan.
Forgers. Oh, the Forgers. It's like Spy Family. Is anyone else watching Spy Family, or is it just me?
I've been
watched,
learning
like,
through like Twitter and stuff, little
That
bits.
is an adorable show. I like it a lot.
I don't really do
keep hearing
anime,
that it's
but I
adorable.
started watching it. I've actually got spoiler if you can see it. Oh, it's too dark. Eh. There, that black mass is yours wig sitting to be styled. So
Oh, nice. Oh, that's gonna be fun.
All right. Are you guys ready to play some D&D? Are we just gonna sit here in a video call?
Wait, we
Yes.
gotta wait another 50 minutes.
Another
It's the
50
new
minutes?
tradition.
Yeah, I'm not used
No,
to starting
we
this
can't-
early anymore.
All right.
we can't give away another free pizza, okay? We can't give away another free pizza.
Guys, I watched Jane get increasingly frustrated that we weren't playing D&D yet. I couldn't clock it until I was watching the VOD, and then I was like, "Oh, poor Crash."
Misfit, or sorry, Wick. Are
The
you?
week.
You would like to do our recap this week?
Week. So we did some things. I met these crazy people who kind of took me in. I stole a key this kid was waving it around, and I had to steal it. It was shiny. I had to steal it. And I went into that place with all the guards that they never let us go. I hid behind the big fuzzy legs. I think his name is Cheshire. I'm not 100% on that. But everyone is really nice to me, and I quite enjoy being around them, as they are very sweet. And we did leave off where Cheshire was talking to someone who was very important. I don't know who, but the scary fist lady, Sawyer, I think her name is. She's very sweet. I like her a lot. She's very sweet. And the tiny chaos. I don't know the chaos name. It's just chaos, just straight chaos. We were seeing doing poses, because that is what you do, right? You're in big scary moments and you do poses. Oh, and there's a sick kid who's poisoned, and we are trying to find the what's the word? Antidote for them. But that is where we are.
Perfect.
Yay!
Woo. Nice first recap.
Hello.
Yay!
That was so cute.
It was. I really like the accent Wick has.
You.
As opposed to
My normal everyday self.
Sawyer's
assuming
just
our
really annoying
accents.
and obnoxious. No one likes Sawyer's voice. It's fine.
Just like everyone else, you will. Well, they don't get it this time because they didn't do the recap, but you will have advantage on a roll of your choice. So,
I did a recap on Monday as CN while trying to get us to get started.
That's true. Do
You
you want to
did.
give Ty a bonus?
And Maddie helped.
I contributed minor commentary.
you know what? As me feeling generous and as a celebration to the community, you can all have one free advantage on me.
Oh!
yeah. What a guy! What a stud this wonderful guy.
This
Don't
alright
read into
guy.
what that means for the rest of the session. It's fine.
Uh-oh.
It's nothing. It's gonna be nothing but darkness.
I got the magic rat. Okay, we've proven that
Oh,
that
thank
she's
goodness.
magic in multiple ways at this particular
She
point in
is.
time.
It's true.
Yeah. What
So,
are you what are
as
you
we
doing? What are you
were
doing?
ending the session
For
last
the antidote,
week,
more poison.
we had 3 players. We had Wick, we had Sawyer, and CN trying to get through this door originally that they couldn't seem to get through. And then they just decided that they were going to have a pose off in the hallway. I'm not really sure how the pose off came to be a thing, but you guys seem to be mildly distracted by that. While you were doing that, Cheshire was exploring some of the cupboard rooms, and in the darkness of one of the rooms, he discovered a person thing that was familiar to him that he hadn't seen since the Witchlight Carnival. This character was a ghoulish-looking little girl that had a pig face mask on and was having a real serious conversation, being very emotionless, almost taunting him along, talking about how, asking him why he's here, is he here to get his smile back? She's admitting to have stolen it, could take him to get it, but doesn't want to, all while Cheshire was trying to get information on an antidote for one of the sick children upstairs. As the session came to a close, Cheshire had drawn a sword, and that's where we actually cut off. So
He was being a bad.
I'm making good decisions.
only the best.
I need to check how long I am a size bigger.
Oh yeah.
That's why you
Scien's
were
regular
flexing.
size.
Right.
That's what it was. So, are you just gonna stand there and hold that sword? Are you trying to
Cool.
intimidate me?
I was drawing a sword to make an attack, my friend. I was not planning to have any delay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I assume that it's probably initiative, but
Yep.
it is.
Yeah, we can jump right into initiative.
Yeah, that's what I came here for. I want to kill pig children and chew bubble gum.
But you're all out of.
And you're all out of bubblegum?
I no, there were like these Jolly Ranchers goblins were selling downstairs, but I wasn't feeling it.
But we have multiple huge bags of them still.
Where did that go? I'm looking for. All right, what did you get on your initiative roll?
I will roll it now
Right
and
now,
let you know.
It's just you and I that you know of.
Just the two of us.
That you know
We
of.
can make it if we try. Anyway, rolled a 7, and adding to that, a 4 for a solid 11. Yep, 11.
Okay. I'm trying to find Sopig's character block.
You can just use a commoner if you want.
Well, I think it would actually be a
Yeah.
ghoul.
Yeah, use a commoner
Oh, yeah?
stat
A
block. That's a
commoner?
great
Yeah.
idea. Yeah.
4 hit points, plus
telling
0 to
you-
hit.
They're telling you the weakest thing that you can pull up for.
To
Oh.
quote
It
Brennan
could've
Lee
been
Here
all
I
Mulligan.
was
even.
being generous.
To quote Brennan Lee Mulligan, my heart and soul, he's just a guy.
I don't know if anybody watched when they were doing a Q&A on the last Alexandria Unlimited, the Calamity, but somebody's like, how do you feel about table snacks, Brennan? What's your favorite table snack? And he goes on this long thing. It's like, if I could have a mouth in my back.
Yeah.
Like,
Anytime he goes on a like tangent or a speech, it's just the best of moments.
I'm getting grief for my singing. That's good.
I loved it. I didn't want you to stop. I was ready to do a little backup singing.
If for that, I would have kept going.
We'll start a Misty Mountain Gaming choir that irritate all of our stream watchers.
I can't do any big movements right now. I got a rat eating popcorn in my sleeve.
Same.
fair
And it's
reason.
short sleeves.
Okay, so with you having your which sword did you draw, by the way?
Oh, the icy one.
The icy one. Okay,
It is more intimidating in my mind.
that's fair.
Makes
that's
you
fair.
look real cool.
For some reason, when I draw it, I start speaking an Austrian accent and make terrible cool puns.
No,
Oh
stop
my.
it. No. So Sopig looks at you, seeing that you've drawn this sword, meaning to cause harm to her, and she looks at you and says, "This isn't what you want to do, but I guess we're doing this." And she kind of darts at you very quickly, rather, and she is going to try and do kind of like a swipe with like her claws towards your legs, just to start it.
All right. My armor class is slightly lower than normal because I don't have both swords because I was trying to be cool and not effective.
So does a 17 hit?
It does.
Okay. So she's darting at you real quick and almost like a baseball slide coming in with her claws, just kind of ripping at your leg. Let me get a couple dice here.
Pigs have claws.
This one does.
This one does.
That's horrifying.
He said a DM thing.
While you're rolling and all that stuff, anybody in the chat ever watched the movie Hogzilla? If you haven't, you're in for a terrible, wonderful night. By that I mean every time you see the Hogzilla, it's just it going, and that's it.
I will say that this reminds me a little bit of that one scene in the first Saw movie where he's wearing the pig mask and just crawling on all fours through the garage for no fucking reason.
I was
Messed
gonna
me
say
up.
this reminds me of the movie Babe.
Ah, that'll do, pig. That'll do.
Yeah.
Now my future reference is ruined. Thank you, Matt.
Gotcha.
Okay, so it will be 6 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And can you roll me a con saving throw?
You know I can't.
Wait, before you roll it, Vexy, bless it.
Oh, I'd already rolled it.
Oh,
It's okay. I'm going to use my reroll, my free reroll, because I don't want to
Ready.
do a 4. There you go. I'm ready now.
Here.
Get the. Ugh.
Oh, the little Vexy blast.
hey,
Thank you.
those are the same dice that I used to roll against you.
Really?
They are.
Oh, they're
they're gonna
the same,
fight.
but they're the same colors. This is the Bard dice, the Black Bard.
Oh, these are the necromancer ones.
They are, which does not help me. Okay, there we go. Constitution saving throw is a 14.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about that, but you will take 6 points of slashing damage. And as she kind of like slides past you and kind of like rips into your leg, kind of like stands up and is now directly behind you. And it will be your turn.
Great. All right. So, Cheshire is going to. I'm at 23 hit points, by the way, if anyone's keeping score, because I had a little damage beforehand. Cheshire's going to draw his flaming scimitar.
Are you gonna make some
and
bacon?
We're gonna find out. I'm gonna freeze dry one half and cook the other.
Yeah.
I will turn and swing with both scimitars, and I'm going to do a thing that I have not done before. I'm going to use a defensive flourish.
Ooh.
So when I take the attack action on my turn, which I'm doing, I get to be faster. And if I hit with a weapon attack, I deal extra damage that I roll on my Bardic Inspiration die, and I get to add that number to my AC until the start of my next turn.
Okay.
I don't. First time playing a sword bard, y'all. Let's try it.
Yeah.
All right.
Got this.
Attack with fire. I'm spending inspiration again. That was a 2.
Oh no.
That's better. Okay, 12 plus things. 12 plus 6.
That hits.
18. All right, trying the frosty die. Attack number
Rob, you
2.
got another inspiration.
I did?
Aw.
Yeah.
I'm not hanging on to any of this shit. I'm using it right now. That's a
We're
roll of
also-
4.
We're also very close to a hype train right now after this little bit war that we
Whoa!
It
That
was.
wait, she says that we started, like she didn't just say
It was a
"Get fight."
team effort. I love my little bit buddies.
All right, that one's only 1 lower, so that's a 17.
It hits.
All right, I'm excited. I
My turn.
currently require lots of.
hype train.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is 2 streams in a row. What
Hey,
the
babe,
hell?
come here. Train
More
noise.
gift subs too.
Yeah.
Woo, woo.
Wife does a really good train noise. If she
Oh, okay.
Can you say thank you?
if she comes in here, I'll have her do
Because you're
it.
here, which is you're gonna have to say thank you to people because you're here.
Come do your train noise. We have a hype train.
Do it.
Uh-oh. The subs are starting to roll in again. Grab your tissues, everybody.
I'm not in charge of the stream. Maybe I can keep it together.
Maybe. Oh, here comes the train.
I didn't hear
They didn't
it.
hear it.
At all.
Twitch probably heard it, but we did not.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
No, I think
See,
it might be
Discord clips it. We'll all watch. Somebody clip it, and so we can all see it later.
The existential nerd says if we hit 375 tonight, he has a 2-month Xbox Game Pass Ultimate code to give away.
Oh, snap.
Oh,
Who is doing the giveaways, by the way, Rob? I don't have the activity feed like I normally do.
what?
Oh, here, never mind. I got it. I'll scroll.
Okay.
Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Dabs. Thank you, Evelyn, for all of the bits that you guys just cheered. Thank you, Dancer, for the inspiration. I used it. I needed it. I'm about to lay down a pretty impressive number for 2 attacks, if I may say so myself. Leo Yeager is back for 10 more subs, bro. What the hell? Thank you so much, man. I really am. Parker Bliss, who joined today, is now subscribed, thanks to Leo.
Hey.
Grim Forge, my buddy Payton, is giving out 2 subs. Thank you so much. One of them went to Dr. Spankenstein,
Whoa.
which is a good name. I like that. And Sarah and Maddie going at it with the bits again, and Sheepy contributing with them.
oh, Sheepy,
Thank you,
I love
Sheepy.
Yeah,
Sheepy's done with the Tarot Project, by the way. If
I
anyone's
know,
been
I'm
watching
so
and keeping
excited.
track and stuff,
Oh my gosh.
I am
I can't
about
wait.
it. All right,
I'm
Rob, I have a number for you.
Yeah, what you got?
The number is 28 points of slashing, fire, and ice damage.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
And my
incredible.
armor class until the start of my next turn is now a 22.
Make some bacon.
Wow, okay.
And that is, for the record, that is my only time I can do that because I inspired people today. But
Okay.
I did it.
You did it. Okay. So, as you describe to me what it looks like as you're slashing these swords around.
Well, let's see. I got extra movement. Can I do a Obi-Wan Kenobi at the Duel of the Fates thing where I just flip over her head through the doorway, land in the hallway with my friends, and just come down one at a time with 2 sabers?
I think you should let him because we got another hype.
Yeah.
What do you think this is?
Fine
You're
with
just
not being behind her.
excited.
I would like to jump around and ricochet off of something and
Sure.
flip and
That was,
strike, even if I can't reposition.
28 points at level 5, which is quite a lot of points at level 5.
We got to level 5!
No, I'm saying, oh yeah, we did. But
We
you're
did.
level 5.
Yeah, I'm just the confetti over
I
the
will.
chat.
I'll let
It's so
Oh my
the
fun.
gosh.
damage will stay the same, but if you want to try and flip out into the hallway, roll me an acrobatics.
All right, I will try the acrobatics.
Fair.
I'm okay at this. That's a 23.
Okay. So
Just okay.
you manage to
little.
do your acrobatic flips kind of over, around, behind, and you kind of slide out into like I'm not gonna say you're in the hallway yet, but you're like back. You're in the door frame.
Okay.
And you come down with these swords, and Sopig like winces because it looked like it really hurt her pretty bad.
Say, you're not leaving me just yet.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Right, so you're out in the hallway now?
He's in the
I've got my back to the hallway.
He's in the door frame. And Sopig looks at you and says, "Who said anything about running? You're not leaving me." And next thing you know, let's see. I didn't think about what I wanted to do yet. All right, so coming from behind you, so that's probably not going to hit because you have your bonus because that was an 18. So
Oh, it would have if I wasn't feeling so full of myself all the moment.
So you, from behind, you feel this brush, just like the quickest movement ever, just kind of like bump into the back of you. You don't move, you don't take any damage. But it, just as quick as it hit you and you felt it, it was gone just as quick. And Sopig looks at you and she's kind of lets out this smirk that's just like, you couldn't even catch it.
You're the one I'm trying to catch.
I'm here waiting for you. Come on. So she is going to...
Back and forth between these two is crazy.
I know, right? She
Trying to get action hero one-liners going. They don't come natural to me.
Just shortly down the hall, it's just the three others that are like, door. Door open.
So Sopig is going to come up and she's going to attempt to bite Cheshire's wrist that was holding the ice sword.
Oh, well, don't do that.
Don't do that? That's a dirty 20. Still doesn't hit. The modifier. I don't even know if these modifiers are directly related to her. I just pulled up a different sheet, so we'll go with it.
It's fair is fair. As long as it's consistent, I'm happy.
Right. It said to use a ghoul, so I used a ghoul and I beefed it up just a little bit.
So it cast.
Maybe. So she comes and tries to bite down on your wrist with with her pig snout mask kind of flapping up, and she kind of snarls at you as she misses. The other three of you, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Hey, you want to do what you're known for? Come here.
Someone was inspired by me last week. That's where one of my inspirations went, to try and knock down the door. Did they ever roll it? Oh, no.
It's not a 20, but it's a 17.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
16.
Oh, I did not roll very.
I don't think I've got anything to add to perception. Let me make sure. Yep, just straight 17.
I got an 8.
Okay. So
Oh, we're not playing Nimwin anymore.
No.
So-
They're on the opposite sides of the spectrum there.
as you're having your flex off competition, Scinn and Wick notice that you stop posing all of a sudden, and you notice at the kind of towards the other end of the hallway that Cheshire is standing in the doorway now. Almost like he's having a conversation with himself, because you can't see anything else that's going on, but you know that he's down there talking, whereas he was in the room talking. Sawyer is still just flexing, giving the strong woman pose.
Ian, look at my pecs. Oh,
Looks over shoulder.
They're so great, Sawyer. They're so great. Hey,
thank
wait.
you.
That's
Yeah.
your name, right? That's your name, right?
We.
You want to go scare Cheshire? Have you seen the movie The Shining? Because right now we're the same height. We can just be
Does it look like I've ever seen this movie?
I'm gonna be
What
honest,
is a movie?
no. I'm gonna be honest, no. But we just gotta stand together and say, "Come play with us, Johnny. Come play with us, Cheshire." Be great,
Okay.
great.
Okay. This sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Wick grabs your little hand, or your medium size. Are you like my size now?
Yeah, I would assume we're about the size. Because fairies, technically, they made them a small creature, but his a max of 2 feet, so they're smaller still than a gnome.
Hmm.
So I'm assuming I'm your height now.
I grab your hand, and I hold it up, and it's like, "Are we doing this right?"
To put it down.
Put-
like
oh,
it- yeah, and then just stand menacing.
Like Wick tries to look as scary as possible. His little
gonna
baby
sit-
down's like flopping in the wind.
He's gonna send a message to Cheshire.
Be like, come play with us, Cheshire. Come play.
And Sawyer's in the background, just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got handsome Squidward in the back, just like.
This is not a good time. A little bit busy in a life-threatening situation at the moment.
Oh, right.
Oh,
I
God.
forgot to tell you, Cheshire was talking to somebody.
He said there's a life-threatening situation, guys. I think there's another dying child.
But not for me.
Where did Batman come from?
So Cheshire, as Sopig tried to bite down on your wrist and narrowly missed, how are you reacting to that?
With 2 strikes at a piggy cranium, my friend.
Okay.
Feeling himself a little bit. I mean, he's picking on a child, but this is not a normal child, and this is a child who has, frankly, ruined his, so he's not feeling too bad about it. But he's flourishing the scimitars, doing little tricks that he learned back in that gold-filled cave. He battled ghosts all morning. And we're going to try and give it a swift death. That is also a dirty 20 for the strike with the eye scimitar.
Okay.
And that is a 22 for the flaming scimitar.
Okay, they both hit.
Awesome. Don't get that D8 this time, but let's see what we got here. Rip. Is 27 points of damage between fire, ice, and slashing.
Okay. So as you're coming down with these slashes, like with expert precision, we'll say, you hear her say, almost begging you to stop. Like, please don't, like winces and cries as the first one connects through, like, please don't, and the second one connects, and she falls down to the ground, lifeless.
You killed her. You're such a jerk.
Okay, but this happened with an orc one time, and then he turned invisible and went away.
Fair.
So Cheshire is going to breathe out, like, crack his neck a little bit, and he's going to walk over and just set a hoof on her chest, just to make sure she doesn't go anywhere.
Out in the hallway, Cian's like,
Guys, I think Cheshire killed the child this time.
like
As-
just completely
As you're
seriousness, he starts like shrinking back into a little figure.
as you are Captain Morganing on this dead child's body, ghoul's body, we'll say ghoul, Wick and Cian walk around the corner, trying to, I'm assuming, figure out what you're doing.
Maybe one of us is, but Cian's just trying to be the troll that he usually is.
Okay.
All you see is Wick's like beak peep around the corner.
The beak
Like-
comes before anything else.
Yeah, it's just beak first. Beep, beep, beep. Cheshire, are you okay?
I think
Feel
I'm
blood.
going to be. No, I don't feel good, but it felt right.
Did you kill that person?
I kneel down. I don't move my hoof. I just kneel down kind of into this thing and try and see if I can take the pig mask off. Or if it is a mask.
Sawyer turns around real quick, goes, "Hey, where'd everybody go?" And I will join the group.
Cian's gonna let go of Wick's hand and be like,
You know, sister, if you're not feeling great, I still got that glitter they told me I wasn't allowed to use.
and his hand is like inching towards the bag.
Say the word, my friend.
So as Cheshire is down, trying to remove this pig mask, you remove it and you see a small girl's face, blue skin, kind of darker like black hair. Eyes are just kind of open and just lifeless. Some small scarring on the face, but definitely there's nobody home. And the mask was just a pig mask.
I reach down to my waist, that belt of sashes that I have to get help tying every now and again. And with sheathing the flaming scimitar with the freezing one, I carve off a strip from one of the sashes and I just lay it across the eyes of the child's face. Then stand up. And then, kind of remembering something for a moment, say, "We may not be done. Something moved past me. I couldn't see it."
Like a shadow, or like did you just kind of feel like a whoosh of air?
No, it almost cast me aside a little bit. It's a impact.
Oh.
Ghost.
I thought that was a ghost. First time I saw it.
Speaking of her, you want me just to like do a little fireball on her so like she burns up and no one finds her? Cause like I don't want them to blame us and then kick us out before we can save the other kid. Or we can throw her out the window.
That is not a good idea. We should probably make the body disappear.
I can't do invisibility on things right now.
And I do.
Just have her in the closet. Just
Yeah.
There's
We'll
a
stuff
good
her.
idea.
We'll put her in the
Stuff her in-
closet.
The same one that this fight took place in, because it was a big like pantry essentially. There's crates and barrels and stuff lining the walls.
perfect hiding spot.
It wouldn't be difficult to hide a corpse.
Just throw a jacket on top. It'll be fine.
We'll get back to the body quick after we fix the other problem, if we think we gotta move it.
We can always circle back. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
As long as I'm with you, I think I'm okay.
Cheshire, you're being real quiet. Are you okay?
All right, I just realized that people in the chat didn't know I was a satyr.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm trying to explain. The homebrew magic item fund is going very well.
Good! Because I can't buy it by myself.
And Robert Top is insisting that I be called Rob. And so is Existential Nerd. I'm sorry. So yeah, I will. I heard we were hiding a body. I will assist with that if needed.
Yeah, we're gonna kind of cover her up.
Okay. So I think I gathered
Out of character last session.
but I think I gathered that might be the kitchen back there. We were trying to break the door down too. And I don't know if we needed the kitchen. We need Granny's room, right?
Also out of character, wasn't there some mystique about the kitchen being a kitchen?
It's locked.
Cheshire
Yeah,
did not.
that's for
Cheshire
law.
did not know.
Technically,
Yeah.
have the key. Isn't that the key that I stole from that kid?
The kid that
Technically,
was like
you
given
do
like a
have
valiant plan.
you do have a kitchen key.
A kitchen key.
Maybe
Rob is
Cheshire.
suspicious. Rog is suspicious. That's how we can tell us apart.
He's embraced the
Robin
name now,
Rock.
everybody.
Cheshire, maybe if you flex on the door, it'll open. Because we've all tried.
But
Did Wick has shared that he has the key, right?
I don't know.
No, I don't think I have.
Now
Okay,
I did.
And yeah, Cian's gonna
be like, yeah, man, go flex real hard on that door. Know who's boss.
I'll try it. I had casted dispel magic on the thing, and that didn't seem to do anything, right?
As far as you could tell, yeah.
Okay. I approach the door. This is Cheshire's first time at the door. It looks like a normal door. Is it special in any way?
Nope. Just
Okay.
like a reinforced door. It's
Just making sure this
sturdy.
isn't Van Richten's tower from Curse of Strahd. Okay, well, I'll start with the easy stuff. I'll try and push the door open.
Go ahead and roll a strength.
We
Okay.
have a tiny little swaddled creature.
Aww.
Yeah.
That is a natural 20 plus 0.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Because I am not strong. Well, this is technically a check, so this is an ability check, so Jack of all trades gives me a +1. So it's a 21.
Okay. With you pushing on the door, I'm assuming you're trying the handle as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just trying to see if it's openable by conventional means.
Okay. You are able to tell that the door is locked. You can hear the locking mechanism in the handle, but it doesn't seem special by any means.
Okay. Are there hinges on my side or the far side of the door?
Good question.
So if the handle is here, the hinges would be on this side.
It just depends on if it opens in or out, right?
Yeah, it would open inward.
Okay, away from me. So hinges on the far side. I'll try and break the handle if the locking mechanism is inside the handle.
Well,
Wow.
I might have described that incorrectly. Like it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a traditional like lock. Like it's not in the actual handle itself, but the locking, almost like a regular door, is you have like the latch, and then the lock is like under. I don't know. If you want to break the handle, go for it.
While all of this is going on, I'm gonna show Sawyer and Scinn that I have the key. That this is just
What? Where we get why? Why, Wick? Why?
I want to see where this goes. Shh.
If he breaks the door, the key won't work anymore.
Like, got both my scimitars out and wondering the handle of which one I'm going to be bashing the lock with.
Cheshire.
What?
I just have this crazy feeling. I think we should all back off and let Wick use his strength. And I
No.
wink at Wick to open the door.
Yeah. Man, he's so strong. He like slapped me while you were in that room and sent me across the hall.
I saw it, yeah.
I
Wait.
let him have at it.
Are you sure? I pushed very hard on it. And Wick is
But-
smaller than me.
Have you
As
seen
hard
the
worry, I
as,
got
as
strength
hard
you.
of
as
a
I can
bird?
possibly push. Okay. Just
Go
takes a
for
step
it,
back.
Wick. We're gonna watch you go. I've taught you everything I know about being strong.
like Wick
I taught you nothing
looks
at all,
at you
but I have
and
to
is
say,
just
Yeah.
Hey, we completed the community challenge!
Yay!
Next Monday, there's going to be a magic item in the future for the Broken Heart campaign.
Yeah.
Oh god, we're gonna have to name ourselves in that. I just realized we're gonna get to a point where we have to
Yeah.
name ourselves.
I'm
I've
so
genuinely
bad at party
never
names.
had a named party in any of my campaigns, including ones that I'm a player in.
You guys tried to name That's a stupid name the night I wasn't here.
I forgot about that.
I don't even remember what it was. It
I
was
don't
funny.
either. It didn't stick, I guess.
Nope.
Oh man.
All right.
That's all right. So I'm gonna to people who just helped us complete the community challenge. Thank you very much. I will be basically restarting the challenge on Monday for an additional magic item, and I'm just gonna keep doing that.
Ooh.
Okay.
you.
So I like massage Wick's shoulders, like,
He, like,
you got this, you
does
got
this.
this. Yeah, go get
Hands
him,
in the
Tiger.
front. Stands in the front, like holding
Not a
his face
tiger.
and, like,
She's a
rubbing his
thing.
little cheeks.
And he's like, listen here, man. You're strong, powerful, beautiful. Everybody wants to be you. You got this.
Got this.
Go
Wait,
show him
just-
who's boss.
I noticed they didn't do this to me when I tried.
Goes up to the door, all confident, like, and dramatically pulls out the key.
Oh, I did not see this one coming.
Oh man, someone called in nice Shyamalan. That was the plot twist.
What a twist!
Puts it in and turns it.
As you put the key into the lock hole, the key itself doesn't actually turn.
Of course.
You know, I underestimated you, Wick. You know, there's a moment there where I was wondering what you would bring to this working relationship and as this problem-solving little party that we had. But having the key to this door, that's coming in quite clutch. I'm impressed.
It did not work. Sorry, I tried.
Well, who's up for a plan C?
So about breaking them doorknobs, we're gonna let you do that now.
Go for it, Cheshire.
Oh, this.
I go over and I
listen.
start massaging your shoulders.
Look, if it's pure destruction we
flies up
wanted,
and grabs
see in.
your face.
You got this. Go get him, Tiger.
Look, if it's wanton destruction that you want, we need look no further than our flying friend.
Gosh darn it, Cheshire people like you. Also, I already tried to bolt the door. Nothing happened. I just got bigger.
Yeah. So if you don't want to get even taller, I'd be careful with spells.
There is a keyhole to this door, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to try this, and if not, then we're going to go and find the person who has the key and relieve them of it.
Oh crap, I forgot I could do this. Because of fairy magic. Never mind, continue. Actually, continue while I read.
I will try and... Well, you know what, damn it. I have another spell. I'm assuming it is a metal handle and presumably a metal lock.
Yeah.
I'm going to use a second level spell and cast Heat Metal.
Okay.
And hope that makes this pliable and, well, it's definitely going to make it dangerous to touch. So Heat Metal. You choose a manufactured metal object that you can see within range, which is, I'm easily within range. Cause the object to glow red hot. Any creature in physical contact with the object takes fire damage when you cast the spell, and until the spell ends, you can use a bonus action on each of your subsequent turns to cause this damage again for the next minute.
Can we take the key out before you do that?
Yeah. Also, are there
I'm
any
assuming you pulled it out when it
openings-
didn't work.
I
Maybe
didn't
I'm
say
wrong.
it!
That's fair.
Is there like a crack like under or below the door or anything like that? Or is it
Yeah,
directly
there's
to-
a gap underneath it.
Just should try your fire thing, and if that doesn't work, I got an idea.
Okay, well I'm trying the fire thing. You see the glowing handle? That's me trying my fire thing.
I go over and I start
I'm gonna
massaging Cian's shoulders.
I'm gonna be honest. Oh, thank you, Sawyer. That's so great. I'm gonna be honest, Cheshire. I blinked. I thought you got paint out. That's why that was orange.
All of a sudden, on the other side, what seems to be the other side of this door, you hear a voice of a child, kind of speaking back to you, saying, "Don't do that. Don't mess up my door handle that I made."
Then why don't you open the door handle?
Because why would I do that for you? You're here to ruin a good thing that I have going.
Listen here, mister. There's a dying kid down the hallway.
Yeah,
And if we don't hurry, it's gonna be 2 dying kids because I'm gonna get in there to you, sucker.
yeah, I know.
We also have a lot of candy
That's
if you want to
good.
trade.
That's better than I did a minute ago. Writing that down.
I know he's down there, you little fairy twerp. I left you with him. And I've already told Granny Nightshade that you guys are what you're doing.
Oh, so you little tattletale.
Don't worry, guys. This
How
kid's
can he
name's
see
Bud.
us?
He's got a sad life, okay? Don't worry. We're gonna
He
beat him.
recognizes the voice.
Who recognizes the voice?
The voice on the other side of the door recognizes Cian's voice.
Do
I
we
am
recognize the voice?
Probably not. You weren't in with me.
No.
Okay.
It's when Cian snuck through the window and to meet the
okay,
sick kid.
Yeah, this is the
Oh,
Who
bye,
Named
Rob.
You kid.
Rob disappeared.
Rob's back.
No, there he is.
Weird. On my computer kept working, but Discord just died.
Weird.
That's happened to me before. I think one of our
Yeah.
first streams that we did, that happened to me.
Oh, wait.
Discord's super
Is it
weird.
somebody's birthday?
Wait, birthday?
Happy birthday!
Whose birthday is it?
Oh, it's Sarah's birthday Tuesday.
Happy early birthday!
Happy early birthday!
Yeah. She's going to the beach, it looks like.
Oh, I love the
Aw.
beach.
The best.
So
Oh,
yeah,
look at Irish doing his job that nobody pays him for. Thank you, bud.
Thank you, Irish.
so Cian recognizes this voice on the other side of the door, basically telling you, "Yeah, I left you there with him so I could tell Granny Nightshade that you guys were here causing trouble."
Joke's on you. Granny said we could go wherever we wanted.
Yeah.
We'll try and come through a locked door.
Watch me. I'm gonna
That's
cast.
what we're doing.
I'm gonna cast Reduce and Enlarge on myself, and I'm a small creature by nature, so I'm about to become a tiny creature. So I'm about to become like real tiny.
Okay.
So tiny.
So I'm gonna cast Reduce and Enlarge, and it's on a willing creature, so I don't have to worry about my intelligence or my wisdom save or whatever. But I do need to see if I have a wild magic surge in a second.
Okay.
But yeah, he's gonna do that and start like climbing under the door, under that gap. Like when it's gonna look like when a large bug is trying to climb under your door.
So, as you are kind of climbing underneath it, you hear a very girl-like scream, like almost like the little brother is picking on the big brother, has the advantage, and big brother got tired of dealing with it and just is busting through, and the little brother's like, "Oh no, I messed up," and starts screaming and running away. That's kind of what's happening.
Ian's gonna be climbing under the door. He did have a wild magic surge. I'm getting to the one, but he's gonna be climbing to the door, going,
Here comes Johnny.
like worming under the door.
So,
Oh no! This is the best one for this. I got a 97 for you're surrounded by a faint ethereal music for the next minute. So like this tiny little creature's like crawling under the door. It's like, oh, like on the door with him as he's like scooting under the door.
So you hear this scream from Pud, and he's freaking out. He's looking for, like, he grabs like a pot, or a cup rather, that was on a table nearby and throws it at you. It kind of thuds on the floor. He grabs a book from that was nearby and he throws it and it thuds against the wall and hits the floor. Of course, missing you, and he's really freaking out at this point.
Whenever I am able to get fully through the door,
I
reduce and
would
enlarge,
say
how long does this?
you're through now.
Oh, okay. This lasts for concentration up to a minute. So once he's in, he's gonna pop back to full size and just do the door open for everybody if he can. But the whole time he's gonna turn and look at Pud with this look that's like, "I told you so."
So, since that door handle is extremely hot right now, do you take damage from that?
Oh, more than likely, yeah. But he's gonna touch it. It's gonna hurt. And then he's gonna be like, "No, I have to look cool." So he's gonna like grin and bear it through the face.
With the music behind
Yeah.
you.
With the music playing, and Pud's like, "Oh no, oh no, no! You weren't supposed to get through there. Like, who's watching? What was his name?
Is enlarge reduced concentration, by the by? Just wondering, no reason.
It is, but I popped out of it already.
Okay.
Yeah, once I was under, I popped out of it. It's a 1 minute concentration.
Okie doke.
Otherwise, damage I would need to roll to see if I kept it.
Right.
So Pud's like,
That's
you weren't supposed to get through here. Like, who is Brotor dead? Like, who's watching him? Like,
No.
what's going on?
No one's watching him. We left him turned to his side so that if he threw up, he wouldn't choke.
Oh, that's not a good idea. Tell you what, I'll go back up to him and I'll check and make sure he's okay.
No.
No.
Doors
Sawyer's
opened at Sawyer just
Yeah. No. I've been listening this whole time. I'm gonna go over and just like grab him, like grab his shoulders and just kind of keep him there.
So, as you were coming in, and you've said no, like he can't run and go take care of. He's gonna actually run towards a window that's in this room and try and like open it and jump out.
Can we do some sort of like contested check to see if I can get him?
Yeah, absolutely.
What should I what should I do? Acrobatics, athletics.
Let's do athletics.
Okay.
spoken like a true monk. I don't care what you ask me to roll. I'm just gonna cheat it anyway.
I'll do it all.
By the way, I'm sorry, Scinn. It is 10 points of fire damage for handle touching.
That's not bad.
I would think that was pretty bad. So I'm glad you don't.
I had 32 hit points.
What did Sawyer roll?
A 21.
Was that was it natural or?
Well,
No,
it can't
it
be
was
natural.
not.
It'd be a 21 on a 20-sided die,
I know.
Rob.
I know.
It wasn't a nat 20 with
Okay.
additional bonuses.
'Cause
I
I
think it was like a 17.
Because I had a nat 20. How does
I was
that
before.
work? 'Cause
Well, what is his
I don't
athletics?
have any.
Because if it's a
So-
wimpy kid, I still got him.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
he doesn't have like an actual stat block. He's just a child.
I was gonna say some things, and I never remember. Obviously, in attacks, a natural 20 matters, but I know some things it's more so just whatever your max roll is, even if it's a 20,
Okay.
which is a pain in the butt.
Let me grab him.
So he's jumping through the window, and Sawyer comes up and grabs his legs as he's hanging kind of upside down, like.
I flip him around to like fireman carry him.
He used Mage Hand to shut the window.
Thanks, Wick. We're a good team.
Cheshire stands around and heals Cian's hand.
Cheshire's just like doing a nice little heal while Cian's standing there looking far too smug at this kid that's like, that's right. I won.
Right, Cian. What are we going to do with this one?
When you ran away.
Is there a closet?
Yeah, but if we need to stuff him in a we can stuff him with a dead body. But first, when you ran away, I have a feeling you might know where to find the antidote. So, like, tell us.
If you don't, I'm going to shake you around.
Yeah, man.
Pud starts kind of crying at this point. He's like, "Please don't hurt me! Like, I
Listen, I'm not going to hurt
don't
you.
please."
Don't-
But
like,
I'm going to
he's-
shake you around a little
he's
bit.
But you
panicking
don't
at this
fall for
point.
his crocodile tears, okay? Yes, I know he's a child.
I give him a
Fall
little
for
shake.
tears.
Wick, what do we think of this one? You've been here with him for a while.
Yeah.
He is a joke.
Yeah.
That was my impression.
Shake him some more.
10 points of healing, Cian.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Yep, I fixed it.
So Pud is hysterically crying, like he's just terrified of you guys at this point. Like, please
Right.
don't hurt
Damn
me.
right.
Just let me go.
Where's the
Driving me
antidote?
I promise I'll leave you alone. Antidote for what?
To
Cian's
your
gonna
friend downstairs.
Cian's gonna cast the cantrip friends.
Ah.
Hopefully calm him down, but also make him be friendly to me for the next minute.
Sheepy
is
just lightened the mood
a-
as well.
Oh no, we're gonna keep
Ooh.
bothering this
Thanks,
child. I'm
Sheepy.
sorry, Sheepy. When you make this spell, I'm trying to see what. I have advantage on all charisma checks when the spell ends. Oh, I guess it just goes. It doesn't say. It doesn't. I thought there was a check.
No, friends just
What?
works and then they're mad at the end.
Yeah.
He's already
But that's
mad.
fine.
This is a very good situation to use it in, I think.
So yeah, so to read the whole thing of Friends, it says for the duration you have advantage on all charisma saving throw or charisma checks, directed at one creature of your choice that isn't hostile towards you. When the spell ends, the creature realizes you used magic to influence it and becomes mad. The creature is prone. Oh, well, that doesn't matter right now. We're not in fight. But basically, he sees me as a friend for the next minute.
Okay. So he's like kind of like hyperventilating a little bit and
Take
like
a deep breath.
kinda
It's
like
alright.
he's
I like
wi-
rub his back while I'm still holding him up here.
he's wiping tears from his eyes and like you promise not to hurt me.
If you just help us, but we won't do anything to you. We won't even stuff you with a dead body. Just
Dead body. It starts crying a little bit some more.
I just keep
don't worry about
rubbing
it.
his back and going shh.
Yeah. I don't know where the antidote is, but I know that he ate some nightshade, and if you get some hummingbrella mushrooms from Granny's garden, that if you make him eat one of those, it should make him feel better.
Okay.
How much do we actually trust this information?
Insight check.
Yeah. Nice check.
Cian, you don't have to roll one. Being friends, he is 100% telling you the truth.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah. Okay.
Guys, I think we've scared. I
The
think
other
we've
two of
scared
you
the
can roll
actual-
if you like.
I trust Cian's.
Yeah.
It's gonna be there like, guys, I think we scared the actual poop out of this poor kid. Mushrooms. Did we
You'll
all
take us
go
to
look?
them?
We all go look for the mushrooms, or should one of us stay in here so we can get back in the kitchen? Or like, what if we like shove a pan in the door frame so like it can't actually close?
Yeah.
Tiny
I-
hands start trying to like shove a pan.
I
As
set
big as
the
he is
kid
into a door.
down. Yeah, I'll help Cian with the pan. Also, I want to take. I'm looking at my inventory real quick.
I just accidentally smacked her in the head and now she's mad at me.
Can I like wedge something in the door frame like a towel that's a little smaller than a pan? That'll just kind of keep it a little bit open.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, cool. I do that.
Okay.
And I squat down to the kid and I say, if anybody asks, my name is Sir Talavar.
You're too big to. You're not Sir Talavar.
I'm his sister. Duh. It's the same last name.
Sir Talavar's a dragon.
Yeah.
You
You ever heard of disguise, buddy?
and he just kind of gets really confused and kind of putters off towards the dormitory where Brotor is sleeping. Just confused and befuddled almost.
Hey, Pud.
Yeah?
Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody about this, or like I said, we're gonna have a dead kid on our hands one way or another if you tell somebody about something. I'm just saying.
He lets out just a screech and like runs up the stairs.
All right, guys. Mushrooms.
Right.
Before you break off, everyone go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Oh, fun.
If you're looking around the room, if you're not, then you don't need to.
Oh yeah, I'm
always
inclined. I don't
I'm
know when's the
looking
next
at
time we're gonna
everything.
get in here, so I need to get everything I need out of here right now.
I got a
Oh!
16.
I got a natural 20.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Which, not to make this even worse, because everybody hates it, but I just let Vex lick this.
I got 16.
I
So-
rolled an 8.
Okay.
You're busy practicing all your cool new poses.
On
I'm-
a completely different note, I told Maddie about this earlier in a message. I was like, this party's the epitome of like the me and the boys looking for beans and beans. And it's just becoming more apparent as time goes on.
So as you're looking around this room, you notice that it has 3 doors, and there is a wood carved staircase that goes up to another level. The walls are a dense tangle of tree roots and brambles, nestled among which are 5 animated portraits. One of them looks very, from what you know for sure, it is Bavlorna, Blightstraw. Kind of moving around, having the cracked skin, Lornling's kind of like watering her basically. You see another one that is resembling Granny Nightshade, with her wind-up key in the back. One of the eye sockets is missing, and a wooden eye is in her hand. The third one that you see is a skeletal hag that is wearing a black, almost like a theatrical contraption resembling a dress. The fourth one that you see is a svelte, dark-haired woman with a commanding presence. Everyone but Wick knows that it matches the appearance of
Me.
Tasha,
Darn.
the mannequin, the Tasha mannequin outside the Hall of Illusions at the carnival.
Oh.
And the last frame that you see is a truly ancient and terrifying hag, that also the 3 of you, not Wick, recognize as Baba Yaga.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Oh boy,
Each of the portraits are...
this is fine.
Everything's fine. All of
Room's
the
on fire.
portraits
It's fine.
are enchanted to display the last creature that pricked its skin on the brambles that kind of surround the frame.
Why should I prick my finger? I should prick my finger.
We should all do it.
Sorry, I read that wrong.
Darn.
Partially right. The portraits are enchanted to display the last creature that pricked its skin on the brambles, thorns, in addition to its 4 closest family members, alive or dead.
Oh. That's even scarier.
I'm actually really
touches it.
tempted to do it now because I got a whole lot more than 4 family members, and I want to see who fate says is the best ones. I'm just gonna.
Wick does it because he wants to see if he actually has family out there.
Oh.
Ah, settled.
Go ahead and roll me a dex saving throw.
Oh, no.
Fuck.
Oh,
no.
Oh wait, my dex is awesome.
Oh shit, I'm a rogue.
Right, 14.
Okay, so you reach forward and you get pricked by the thorn, and it hurts, but nothing happens other than you just getting stabbed by a thorn.
Maybe, but maybe it's just broken. Like, here, let me just.
He's gonna like far too hard, like smack his little hand into
Be like, let's just see. Maybe it's just broken. That hurt. I was dumb.
Can you roll me a dex saving throw as well?
Yeah. To remember because Dorian has a great dex. Ian has a moderate dex. That's a 15.
Okay, so as you reach forward and you get pricked by this thorn, so you immediately see yourself in the an animated portrait of yourself in the frame in front of you. What family members do you see in the other 4 frames?
Probably mom. Oldest brother, oldest sister.
So how is mom being depicted?
Mom is he has enough siblings that they make the rainbow. They're each one color, and he's the blue one, and he's the youngest. Mom is all like warm sunset colors, whereas dad is all cool nighttime dusk colors. The mom is looking, think like the Tooth Fairy. What do you call it from that movie, Rise of the Guardians? Like just like really like iridescent feathers and all that kind of stuff. Little feathery wings instead of butterfly wings. Bright red, orangey hair. She's very pretty. I have not planned what all the other siblings look like, so let's just say 3 more siblings pop up.
Okay. So, how does everyone react to Cian's family now filling these portraits?
So pretty, but it is not broken. I just do not have family, I guess.
Well, listen here. We're gonna fix that. Because listen, if people can adopt kids, then kids can adopt a family. Like it's gotta work that way, right? Yeah.
I mean, in the meantime, we could be your substitute family.
Yeah. Here, what? Maybe I can do it again and get you guys to show up. Let's see.
If you want to try it again, go for it.
Oh god. Sure, I'll try it again.
Roll me another dex.
Oh, he's sitting there just going like, all right. I'm just gonna slap. Oh, natural 20. Again.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, this is the dice that Vex chews on every single game, so maybe she's just embedded herself into it.
It's rigged. It's fine.
Let me try this one. Oh, well, that one also. I just wasted another natural 20.
Tyler.
Hi.
So as you poke it, your mom, you stay in the frame in front of you. Your mom stays in the one that she's in, but in 2 of the other ones, you see Sawyer and Cheshire pop up. And who shows up in the last one?
He's gonna think for a sec, just like in his own mind, be like, "Well, I kind of said I had to do it." Wick's gonna show up in the last one. Not, although he is gonna turn and be like,
See, you have a family. I never told you my name.
God damn it.
And Sawyer's just very quietly oh, I look really cool in this picture.
You do.
Cheshire's
God, I
back there
look
thinking,
so cool.
I did not consent to this.
Oh,
Just
my arms are so defined. Look at that. Who's the artist for these? Wow. I'm just beside myself this whole time. Literally.
Oh, I messed up. There we go. Sorry. there's no information on who the artist was for this.
I'm just now realizing how bad of an idea that might have been, but it's too late now.
In the Discord chat, that is the style of the art that is in these frames, but now it is all of you guys.
I look good.
So, with that
Solid.
being said, we will we'll go ahead and we'll take our break. We're at a good stopping point to get up and stretch our legs, get a drink, use the restroom. Everyone, thank you for hanging out with us. Bear with us just a few minutes as we take this break. We have a commercial ad for you that is a advertisement for Monday night's game, kind of a introduction of those characters. And then we have the fan art reel, which if you want to contribute any fan art for any of the campaigns, one-shots, cosplay, drawn, music, whatever you want to post, like we'll get you featured in there. And what are we going to talk about D&D while on break, Wick?
Good question.
On the spot.
I don't know. There's just so few things to talk about D&D.
I know, it's all the things. What is everyone's favorite spells? Because we were talking about that last week.
Ooh.
That's a topic of conversation on our podcast right now too.
Yeah.
See?
So
Tying
drop-
it all in.
So drop in the comments what your favorite spells are, and if you feel like explaining why to defend your opinion, by all
Yes.
means.
One might
What is
say,
your favorite cantrip and why is it prestidigitation?
Yeah, you
Why
can
is it
soil
message?
things.
Because I'm the only one who ever takes message. Why?
one might say it's a battle of the spells. So,
I have it now.
guys, bear with us just a few minutes. We're going to take a break, enjoy the ad, and we will be back in just a few minutes.
Bye.
Oh, why are you doing little baby sneezes? I mean, why are you doing little baby old lady sneezes? Can we stop? Yeah, can we stop?
What's
back
up,
on
guys?
yet?
We are back.
Hey, what's up, nerds?
What up, nerds?
Nerd.
Nerd.
I saw things about an inn getting blown up in the chat, so you guys had a good time.
Yeah.
Good old icy there.
Oh, but thank you so much for letting us get up, stretch our legs. My booty needed it for sure because I
A
definitely
lot more water.
I got that Hank Hill booty right now. So
Mm.
right now, it's all the time. You know, it's just
God
straight
dang it,
down.
Bobby.
God,
At least
dang
it stops at the
Bobby.
booty for you. I got the Hank Hill body.
Oh no, well, I wasn't gonna go into more details,
Oh.
but
Me too.
I'll sell propane and
Hank Hill
propane
should be so
accessories.
lucky. Thank you, by the way, to Dark Dale. If you find us Dark Chip, I will be very, very excited. Because that duo just needs to happen. Also, Maiden of the Mist, Valentine Saris, and just now, the Thorout. I hope I say these things right, guys. I'm terrible at this part of the job. Thank you for the follows. Welcome to our party. We're playing D&D. This is Misty Mountain Streaming, and we are playing the Wild Beyond the Witchlight tonight. And we're probably in danger, because that hasn't changed in a long time.
You could be.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Hey,
It's
Hey,
possible.
Ori, you want to say hello to everybody? They haven't seen you in a while.
Oh.
Ori.
You were in Cone of Shame last time.
I do not like the cone of shame.
So, just before we went to break, you all.
There's a lot of darkened moods in play. Oh no.
You sent Pud running down the hallway, scared for his life that you were going to hide him with a dead body.
Dead body.
Bud Running is a discarded Chumbawamba song. They went with Tub Thumping instead.
Before he ran away, he told you that Brotor had eaten some nightshade out of Granny's garden, and if you got a hummingbrella mushroom, and fed it to him, that would basically cure his ailment. Granted, he is actively dying, as far as you were able to tell. So you're kind of on a time crunch there. So after he ran away, you all took notice to the room that you're in that has 3 doors, a wooden staircase that kind of circles up the side of the wall that goes upstairs, and there were 5 portraits along the wall as well, surrounded by thorns. Previously, it had 5 old hags in them, one of them being Tasha, one of them being Baba Yaga, one of them being Bavlorna, one of them was Granny Nightshade, and another one was just a mysterious hag that had like a theatrical marionette dress. But you don't know anything of this hag. Wick had pricked the thorn, and nothing had happened, but Scinn did it once, and all the frames filled up with images of his closest family members, and then did it again, and it filled up with the party members that are here. And that is where we left off.
So, quick question for the group. Sawyer says as she's still admiring her very toned portrait. Does anybody actually know what a hummingbella mushroom looks like? Because,
Absolutely
like,
not, no.
there's some mushrooms that you shouldn't eat, and I don't want to give this kid something else it shouldn't eat. So,
Granny is she's very good at making sure that everything is labeled in the garden.
ah,
Well, that's
That's really good.
yeah.
Well, that should be easy then, right? Going down and getting some and taking them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't sound confident.
Easy. Nothing is easy here. I mean, maybe for you all are so big and strong, but nothing is easy here. And Granny does not make it easy.
Well, shall we go down and get him? And if for some reason, because that little brat kid said he told Granny, if for some reason she shows up, I'll figure it out. But for right now, time's a ticking.
Yeah. Let's just keep moving.
There was a window at the far side of the room that the kid wanted to jump out, wasn't there?
I mistakenly talked. It was actually a door.
Okay.
And not a window.
Oh.
So there's the door that you melted the handle on that is back down the hallway to the barracks area that just keeps going. There's the door that he tried to get out over there, and then there's the door directly across from the one that was melted.
So are we, help me out a little bit here on the map that's in
L11.
L11. Okay. And we came from the L7 hallway.
L10, yeah.
Okay, yep. Well, let's try a couple of these doors. Maybe we'll find a way out. I mean, if there's things behind us, I'd rather not meet again. If we didn't have to.
Yeah.
Wit uses mage hands and like sends them down the hall to try to like open, or sends them out to like try to open as many doors or whatever as possible.
Like down the hallway you just came in, or in the room that you're in?
In the room that we're in.
Okay.
Like if it looks like it can be opened, these hands are trying to open it.
Gotcha. So
Including all cupboards and bottles.
Oh yeah, everything.
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 This is where we need thaumaturgy, just everything open.
I use thaumaturgy to open all the windows and doors.
Yeah.
Told you to not be conspicuous.
I understood that reference.
Sadly,
Use
there's
thaumaturgy to
no
close all the doors.
there's no doors for looting items in here, but
We tease.
the door that's directly across from you. Sorry, this Pepsi gave me a heartburn. The door directly across from you does appear to be locked. The one just to the left of it opens and goes outside. It goes directly outside.
Okay. That's easy.
Gardens, north or south, east or west
Is
of
there a
the.
map somewhere in like this room? Is there a map to where the gardens happen to be? Or would
Well, I mean,
Wick
you've
actually,
lived here.
Yeah, would Wick actually know where, like, just be like, hey, we're gonna go this way?
Wick hasn't been this far up in Loomlarch,
Okay.
but you know
I
that
figured-
the gardens are kind of on the western side of the tree.
The gardens are on the west side, so we should probably start there first.
West Side. Yes, I see. Okay.
It
Um,
sounds like a good plan.
So this way, and this way. Cheshire will walk outside.
I'll follow the leader.
So,
I like mimic how everyone else is walking.
Ian will fly in the back in case he
Offbeat.
sees any rogue. Yeah, in case he sees any rogue need to cast a spell at somebody. So he'll fly in the back.
As you all kind of come to the stairs that kind of go down, you look out and you see there's a garden that it runs basically the entire length of Loomlarch. It's a massive garden, but more importantly, in front of you, there's kind of a walkway, And at the bottom of the stairs, there is a rocking horse that is creaking softly as it moves back and forth. The paint on the rocking horse is chipping away, faded, kind of moldy on the legs, very old looking. There is a hole in the base of its head that is kind of, it almost looks like it's threaded, like something has been taken from there.
Like a unicorn horn?
Very potentially.
Hmm.
Wasn't this advertised as a method of transportation? She climbed upon a wooden horse and flies.
I forgot that part. What I remember though is that she took the horn off and he turned into a horse, like a wooden horse.
There is also a 3-foot by 3-foot box with a handle next to it that has children painted on each different side of the box, similar to the previous 2 that you've seen.
I'm not falling for that one again. It's a dragon.
Cheshire, the other one was empty.
So what? This one will split the difference and have half of a dragon?
Maybe.
Maybe you'll just get one angry tiny pseudo dragon coming out instead.
Oh, I can handle that.
Should I use some of my glue to put the unicorn horn back on there?
Oh, then it couldn't be taken again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a thought.
Glue keeps things on real good.
I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't remembering that it's permanent glue. I just was thinking it's glue it'll hold.
I think it's a great idea.
I'm gonna do it.
He's gonna like pull out his tiny little bottle of super glue and and like dab a little bit of it on the horn. Then he's gonna like, almost like if it's like an artist like placing, he's gonna be like,
perfect.
Your fingers stick to your lips a little too long.
No.
Seeing it looks beautiful. You placed it perfectly.
Thank you. I'm an artist.
You are. You have an artist's vision to you.
Pablo Picasso, who, man, he just made a bunch of weird shapes.
Yeah, I don't know him.
I make
But I know
I make unicorns.
seeing the unicorn maker.
they're having like a weird little heart to heart. Makes no sense in the middle of this area.
All the while, Cheshire just watching that box. Make sure it don't do nothing crazy.
All of a sudden, you just see a little hand, like you just see the crank
cranking.
turning.
They told him everything he knows.
do 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 do.
Play it, Wick. Yeah.
So as you glue this horn in, nothing appears to happen. And as Wick is sitting there kind of turning the handle on this box, you notice that the rocking horse is starting to kind of almost like rock back and forth a little bit. And then stops kind of when it stops.
Keep doing that.
Keep
Come
going,
on.
Wick. Keep going.
Come on, Seabiscuit, get out of there. You can get back to yourself. I don't remember what your real name was.
He just cranks it harder.
Let's see. It was Eladon.
Eladon.
I should remember that because that's a Lord of the Rings name.
And that last note, the lid pops open, and almost at the same time, the rocking horse kind of almost like poofs into just like some smoke, essentially. And as the smoke and dust is clearing, you see one of the most majestic looking unicorns standing in front of you. Like, picture like those spicy like romance novels, like that in unicorn form is kind of what you're seeing. Like the dreamy,
beautiful.
like
He's got the
rippling
flowing
chiseled
hair.
abs,
The flowing Fabio
flowing
hair.
mane.
And this is perfect timing because Manny
an
is back in the
enormous-
chat doing
Enormous, rigid
gifts of-
horn,
Just
visible to all.
just the biggest, most rigid horn.
Turgid, one might say.
I was
Just
sitting
covers
here-
his ears.
I was trying to picture.
Wick, look away, look away.
I was-
Come here.
I was trying to figure out how to, spice it up, kind of like Tusk Love happened.
Yeah.
But I'm not quick on my feet like that. So, so, and he kind of like shakes his hair and his mane, and he looks at you and he's like, thank you for freeing me. I've
Be free.
been in this form for so very long. But as much as I'd like to thank you, I'd also say you guys have made a grave mistake. This horn was the only way to free Zybelna.
That's what we were told to do. Oh God, I shouldn't have glued it to your forehead.
Welcome to the party, bestie.
Yeah.
You're part of the squad now. I can't leave.
And let me just go slap my hand on them brambles again and get you in a frame. All right.
Go ahead and roll me a charisma check.
With me?
Whoever wants to convince him to try and join the party.
Oh, I will.
If
I
you
will join in on this
If you
effort.
actually want to.
I mean,
Yeah,
we kind of need him,
there's-
so.
Charisma's my best. Do you say check or throw?
Check.
Check. Okay.
Got a 16.
That is a 21.
Okay.
Sorcerers and charisma.
So he's kind of going through, and he's like, I mean, I owe you all. I feel like I really need to join your party because we have to find a way to use either my horn if it still works, or find another unicorn horn, and we have to free Zybelna. Like we have to return Prismere back to what it truly was and get rid of these hags forever. I'm so tired of that crotchety old lady riding my back all the time.
Granny, she's awful.
Granny is so awful. Oh, sorry.
She's apparently rubbing off on the kids too. There's this kid named Pud.
Oh, he's awful.
Absolutely the worst.
This is a joke.
I mean, that's what they get for naming him Pud. So.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, it was extremely rude of me. My name is Eladon, and he kind of bows and like shows like the utmost. What's the word I'm looking
Quick
for?
bows in like a
Reverence.
mimicry.
Yeah,
Gratitude.
gratitude. That's what we're looking for. As
The
he
end does a
entered-
curtsy, not realizing he's done the wrong
Yeah,
move.
Sawyer is like in awe and glances over at Cian and then also curtsies.
And what may I call you all? If we're traveling together, I mean, we should probably know each other.
Yeah, I'm Sawyer. Everyone in this place thinks I'm either Lucinda or Sir Talavar, though.
Well, Sawyer,
Yeah.
your secret is safe with me.
Oh, thank goodness.
I'm Yen. Here, everybody knows me as Kevin McAllister, the kid who's good with traps.
Well, Cien, it is also a pleasure
Bill.
meeting you.
Kills me.
and you, my feathered friend. Yeah.
Oh, I am Wick.
A pleasure meeting you, Wick. I've seen you around, but as you know I've not been able to talk.
I'm one of Granny's children.
Yeah.
It just makes like
Oh.
the most scrunched up face that a beak face can make. That like a bird. It's just like
and and you, my fellow horny man.
My name is Cheshire, and may I just say, wow. I mean, wow. You are a specimen. Stallion does not begin.
Sure.
Well, thank you, kind sir. And he kind of let that.
I mean, so it's easy. It's incredibly easy to see what Lamorna saw in you, but she was somewhat rude and unkind and unwelcoming. What?
Oh, please forgive my wife. I must get back to see her, but there's more important things to take care of right now. I'll get back to see her one day. She's probably been worried, just absolute sick, with me being gone.
That checks out. So you seem compared to those that we've had the pleasure of you know what? We should talk about this in a moment. Do you know where some what's Bumble humming jelly shrooms? Hummingbrella mushrooms. We need some to save a child's life, and then we will be much more free to enjoy one another's company.
I believe there's some just a little bit down the way. And he gestures kind of back the direction that you came, down the garden, essentially. So a little ways down that way, there's a mushroom patch area.
Good night, Iris. Okay. Back you go.
Do you wish to come with us? Is it dangerous for you to be here any longer? Do you need to?
Absolutely.
Should we rendezvous?
Yeah, we could always meet back later if you want to get out of here and see Lamorna and all that.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. Then I can at least tell her that I'm okay, and then I can help you all with figuring out whatever's next in this crazy world.
We know how to get to the unicorn pool and all that, so we could always get to you later.
You know what? That sounds like a plan. I will.
Yeah.
I'll look for you all at the Wayward Pool.
Just a fair warning, it may not look like it once did, because we left it kind of looking like blood.
And he looks at you very confused.
It was not on purpose, though.
No, it really wasn't on purpose. I promise you that. Cheshire just went in the water, and suddenly it was blood.
He just kind of looks back at Cheshire and thank you for the heads up. I'll see what I can do about that. And he starts making his way out into the woods before he vanishes.
Sorry to interrupt all those compliments, Cheshire. You two seem to have a really good back and forth going, but...
Did I embarrass myself? It was just so distracting, having him where I could see him.
No, I mean, if this is better, I mean, I thought, you seemed really into unicorns, so I felt bad having it.
Well, I wasn't into unicorns, but that was more than a unicorn. That was... I need to know what diet and exercise makes that. Gosh.
Sure. You go take a cold shower. I'm gonna go find the mushrooms.
So are you not affected by the?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I do not understand.
He was a stud. He's taken. Okay, we got a kid that's dying.
Right.
Listen, he's gonna travel with us, so just walk behind him, and you'll get whatever look you want for the rest of the time we gotta travel. Okay.
There's an issue with that statement, but I don't have time to explain it. But let's just carry on.
In the mushrooms.
The answer, they're like, I don't understand what's wrong.
Because from the back, you can't enjoy his face here.
Oh, you like the run it. Well, then just be the creep that
What's-
walks backwards.
Where's the bad side? Anyway, let's go.
So after, I'd say, excuse me, after 15, 20 minutes of like exploring this massive garden, you're looking and you seem to have found the fungus part area, but it's in a like a woodland basin that is filled with different plants, different mushrooms, all along one side of the tree. There's a pumpkin patch at one end of the garden, and it's right next to a steaming compost heap with ramshackle pens for pigs and goats at the opposite end. Bedraggled scarecrows hang from tall wooden stakes in the basin's wooden slope. 2 ground level doors and 3 balconies provide entry back into the lair.
Oh snap, guys! You think those are the scarecrows that are gonna scream?
They're the first scarecrows we've seen here, so I think our bet is good that they're going to scream.
But
I mean, she knows we're here now.
That's
know?
true. She gave us
She doesn't-
permission.
We have
She
lost
doesn't
the
know
element
we're
of stealth.
right. Doesn't know that we're right here.
I mean, of all the places that we could be, I think this is perhaps one of the least offensive.
True. We're not in her bedroom like she told us not to be.
Not
That's
yet,
a
at
plus.
least.
Yes, that's right.
any of you that are kind of on a alerted status, go ahead and roll me a perception. Like if you've been kind of paying, like cautiously proceeding and paying attention.
You mean like if someone would have the alert feet, perhaps?
Potentially, yeah.
Milking it, girl.
Dead 3.
Uh,
What is
15.
this?
Oh,
A
no.
perception?
Yep.
The piper will be paid eventually, but I rolled well again.
I rolled really
Um,
well too.
I rolled a 10, and I'm debating if I should use my once re-rolled now or save it for real bad in a little bit.
It's up to you.
I'll go ahead and reuse it, or you want to give that a little lick? You're real hit or miss if you're going to just curse or bless. Oh, wow, that's a
All
good
right.
one. See how you're feeling
Curse.
tonight, sweetie. Oh, it's a 17. Okay.
Pretty good.
18.
21.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wick?
15.
Louis.
Okay.
Levy.
So Wick and CN, you both have found the well, I mean, you all have found the mushroom area patch without any kind of setting off of scarecrows. Cheshire and Sawyer, you hear some movement off in the woods nearby. And just for a brief second, Sawyer sees a familiar little boy face of what could have been Will.
He's alive. I wave at him. We thought you were dead.
And he's like,
You're alright? Oh. I act like I haven't seen him after all.
and he kind of like darts back into the woods real quick. Looking in this mushroom patch, you see 5 different kinds of mushrooms. You see a shorter kind of goldish yellow looking one. You see I would almost say more of like a traditional style mushroom, except it's entirely gray, has little hairs hanging down from it, looks almost like it's like it has like warts for a lack of better terms.
Traditional,
I
but
was about to say, traditional style mushroom, not like those newfangled mushrooms. Those modern mushrooms just don't do it for me.
Traditional in shape.
okay.
You see another one that has a black hood-shaped cap. You see a very tall and colorful one. It's kind of pink and blue. With a frilly parasol-shaped cap. And it looks like it's dripping a nectar that kind of it has a very sweet smell to it. And the last one is kind of a batch of little mushrooms, and on each stalk it has its own little head, and there's prickly spines growing out of each of the red caps.
Red caps. Sorry. D&D trauma.
Oh, okay. But there doesn't appear to be any kind of signage on any of them.
Okay. Okay, go with me on this. I have no idea if this is going to work.
I'm listening.
Okay, I thought they might hum back. They were called hummingbird mushrooms. So.
Oh. See, now hear me out. I like your thought process because the humming part didn't work, but there's the brella part at the end of the name.
Mm-hmm.
And those over there, they have a little like parasol looking bits to them. Right?
You guys start to hear like a scraping metal sound, and you look down between the two of you to see Scinn with two of his tiny little daggers out, just like,
Just tell me which ones to cut.
And there's not a shortage on any of them.
Wait.
They all probably do something.
Yeah, it's my guess. Wick, have you eaten any of these before? Like, are you familiar with any of them?
No.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I'm not a big mushroom person either, really. I didn't like the texture, but and Sawyer like squats down, and she's gonna like poke the what was it, pink, and it's dripping stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. She'll poke at it, see if anything happens.
So nothing really happens. As you pull your finger away, like you have like a sticky nectar just kind of like dripping off your finger. It smells very. It smells very sweet, very fragrant. It smells delicious.
Taste it.
It tastes just as sweet as it smells, but nothing appears to happen.
Even if I'm down a few hit points.
Even if you were down a few hit points.
Okay. I mean, this one tastes good.
One of everything.
Yeah, Scinn's doing the same thing. He's gonna pick two of everything so that he can try one, and then also hold on to them for the child.
Which one are you trying?
There was a red one, right? Or was that the one that Sawyer just did?
The red one had like the prickly bits on it.
Yeah, he's gonna get that one first.
Okay.
Because it looks dangerous, which means it might not be.
True.
The opposite philosophy of your character design.
So it doesn't really have any kind of a distinct taste, but I probably should have let you know that you recognize these as being like, it says tiny fae are grateful to receive any of these as a gift. They're called prickle noggin.
Oh, prickle noggin.
But it doesn't taste like anything really. It doesn't taste bad. Doesn't taste good. It's just a mushroom that's really pretty.
He's gonna see that Wick already has one. He's gonna pick one for Sawyer and Cheshire and be like,
These are the best ones, my friends. They don't taste good, but they're pretty.
Like start to put it in my mouth when you say they don't taste good, so I go,
I mean, they don't taste bad. They just don't taste like anything, you know?
All right, once again, child dying.
We're trying for which one we... Fine,
But you
I
know
got a
it's not
hand.
that one.
I got a handful.
Wick, which one
You're
are
walking-
you wanting to try?
yeah, it's this.
Wick doesn't. Wick's not adventurous like that.
Okay.
No, man.
Wanted to give you the opportunity. Does Scinn try any more?
I don't remember what all the descriptions are, but he'll try.
There was a hairy one.
There was a hairy
He'll
one.
try-
There was a little yellow gold one, and then there was one that has like a black like cone hood shape.
He's gonna try in order of nastiest to normalest. He's gonna start with the hairy one.
He's gonna be like, you look like a Sharpie.
And he's gonna eat it, and then he'll try the yellow one, followed by the little black one.
Okay. So after you eat the hairy one, it tastes oddly good, even though it looks absolutely disgusting. And everyone around you notice that you all of a sudden appear about 100 years older.
That is some rapid aging.
No, this one doesn't. This one, it looks disgusting. But once you get past the texture, it's not that bad. Why do my knees hurt?
Do you feel right?
I mean,
You've
my...
lost a little bit of your color. Yes, you.
what?
Yeah.
Color.
Like
What
your
time
hair's
is
more
it?
like grey blue.
What time is
than
it?
just
Is it
blue
like...
blue.
You're so
Is it like
dusty.
6
looking.
p.m.? Because I feel like I
What
need to
year
go
is
to bed.
it?
Is it like 6 p.m.? I feel like I need to go to bed.
So you don't feel effects of being old, just so you know. It just appears to be an illusion.
Okay.
Okay, this is getting us nowhere. Keep eating if you want.
I
Sawyer like
still want to eat, you know. I've just tried.
Picks up little yellow one.
I'm just some sandwich before we get there. Don't want to feed the kid the bad one, you know.
Wick looks at Cheshire. It's like, I have picked one of everything, so we should be okay.
maybe let's go then and save a
We can
life.
We'll eat as we
Wait.
walk.
We.
Ian flies ahead, and because he looks older now, there's like a weird mothball smell coming from him.
We have. I don't mind telling you, Wick. Now that you've thrown your lot in with us, we have a pretty poor track record of saving people. We helped one guy one time since we've been here.
But you put the effort in, and that is important.
Yes, but I would like to not save another person while we eat mushrooms on the veranda.
The yellow one to you tastes like it would be a good ingredient for any kind of recipes. It specifically tastes like butter.
Feel relaxing.
Yeah, you're out of it. Gonna eat the last mushroom.
Be like, come on, kids. I'm not getting any younger.
You are not.
Gotta get this on the road so I can watch my shows. Come on.
Go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh, well then it is not the black ones. I can say that now. You bless this. You did very good. Or oh, so many blessings. Thank you. That's a natural 20.
Okay.
I haven't done this since I was killing all of you in our long shot.
I am suspicious.
So
It's the rats.
as you're eating it,
Oh, I like
Oh,
that
it's-
set.
it
It's too
is
dark to see.
it's a very sour, bitter taste. You didn't enjoy it. at all. But yeah, you've now had the flight of mushrooms.
A mushroom flight.
Like, you might want to watch that black one. It doesn't taste good.
So we'll give him every single one except the last one there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
the last one kind of tastes like a fart.
Mm.
Don't ask how I know how that tastes. Anyway.
He's gonna keep flying on.
I'm just delighted that the scarecrows decided not to scream after it.
So which door are you wanting to go into?
Kinda don't have time to think we don't have time to be exploring the house again. So, or finding new doors that some kid has locked. So maybe just retrace our steps.
Retrace steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems.
Okay. So yeah, you retrace your steps. You go through the 10 soldier little barracks area that they were in. You see that all of the houses that are kind of like mounted against the wall, all of their doors are still shut. You make your way up the stairs. You see Pud up there just kind of reading through his book that was on the nightstand. And Bartol is up there still on his side, has lost all the color in his face, and is just like almost like gasping for air at this point.
Oh my god, we're gonna have to mama bird to get him to eat this.
Start with the pink one. Let's start with the pink one.
I hope that was not a joke at me. I will not.
No. No, Wick, I'm not gonna. I mean, to be fair though, being the mama bird part of it's the good part, because like you just have to chew it and then someone else has to eat it.
The Wick just
Wait,
like hands
don't worry,
you
we
the
will.
mushrooms. Here you go.
Okay, let me. My grandpa pull up a stool.
This effect lasts about an hour, it says. Just so you know.
Oh, so he's gonna be like this for a while. Pulls out those over large round reading glasses from a couple sessions ago that he was reading the paper with.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
All right, youngin, we're gonna fix you.
like, just, like hold the pink one at the mouth to see if anything happens. If he'll even do anything, and if not, he's gonna just gently start pushing it into the mouth.
So you do have to kind of gently push it, and you start kind of like working his jaw up and down to chew it.
Yeah,
And-
just like a.
Which you have practice from your wooden teeth. You know, you're pretty good at working.
You know how teeth work.
And eventually he kind of like, once he gets to the point where like you start kind of like massaging his throat a little bit, and he swallows, and he starts to get some of the color back into his face, and back into his body. You tear off another piece and you feed it to him, and he's able to chew this one on his own. And after a few more pieces, maybe 15-20 minutes pass, and he appears to have made a recovery from eating the nightshade.
Yay.
Cheshire, we
good.
saved him.
Cheshire, update the list. We've got 2.
2. What was your name, young man?
Oh, I'm Bartol.
Bartol and Talavar. With 2 for I lost count of how many.
2's all that matters. Don't worry about the other number.
Just baby steps, man. Just baby steps.
Yeah.
That-
Right, so
Thank
just
you-
make
thank
sure
you
you're
all
not
so
eating.
much.
Don't eat that nightshade again. It's bad news.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
Sure.
I didn't mean to, I assure you. I was told it was gonna be delicious.
Told you.
Who told you that? Pud?
Pud
it you?
kind of like hunkers down, almost like a. It's like.
Cian does the grandpa thing with like the glasses on, where he turns in like just. Looking at Bud like
And it's
that.
like, it was a joke. You weren't supposed to eat it, Bartol. Gosh.
That is a terrible joke. Why would
I
you
know.
do
That's
that?
not even funny.
I'm sorry. Are are you guys here to like get us out of here?
Yeah, but we might just leave
What,
you
I was
here
going to say,
fight.
Why
whoa,
would we tell you?
buddy, that's a strong we.
But I look.
We would not
So-
take you. You're a jerk.
Like I was joking early, like I said, I was joking with Bartol. I actually haven't told Granny that you're here yet. I was just, playing.
Try and be tough.
I do not believe you.
I mean, he is a 12-year-old boy, so.
You gotta, hey, listen. You gotta pinky promise that you didn't tell her that you're not going to, and you know how big of a deal a pinky promise is.
Oh, absolutely. I'll double pinky promise. And he latches on
Tell
and
ya.
is like shaking really aggressively.
Let me tell you, young man, my sister broke a pinky promise one time and pinkies exploded off and then she died.
Yeah.
His eyes
don't break
get like
that.
this big around, like, and he's like shaking more aggressively.
Does that really happen? I have never made a pinky promise. Is this how it really works?
Just get a
That
message
is
in your
horrifying.
just get a message in your head, but everybody else just watches him pull like a little piece of copper out, like as he's rolling from his eyes. Just in your head, you just hear,
No, Wick. Just scaring him.
He's like Wick jumps and like looks around like, where's his voice coming from?
looks to an old man seeing just.
Sawyer leads into these two boys, who very much remind her of her little brother at home.
Oh.
Goes, listen, we're gonna try our best to get you all out of here, but we can't go around talking like that we're gonna get you out of here, because then that's how you get caught. So it's gonna be secret for now. But
Okay.
we're working on it.
Okay. Are you gonna get all of us?
We're gonna try.
Even
I mean,
even the grumpy old man?
there's a grumpy old man here working on the toys.
He's not working on toys. He's more of just in a cage.
But,
We're,
guys, I think Granny's freakier than we thought.
I mean, this isn't the first time we've gotten somebody out of a cage, because we got that other satyr out that one time. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
is he
I think
nice
he's
to
Vinny.
you guys?
he seems nice. He is always asking like how we're doing, checking in on us. But he's not treated very well by Granny, just overall.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be like a full jailbreak if we can help it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, he's a pretty stout dude. He kind of looks like Brotor over here, but bigger and stronger.
Well, I'm probably stronger than all of them, so don't even worry.
Sawyer is the strongest. Let's hear.
Yeah.
Well, so should we just hang out up here, or like should we go out somewhere, like hide? What should we do?
That's a good question.
And they're all just they're both kind of like almost latched on to Sawyer and like literally, what do we do? Like almost like this is the first chance of hope that they've seen in a while.
Big
Right.
sis energy.
Group huddle,
Yeah.
real quick. Group huddle. And I pull everybody in really close. And I go, listen. I saw Will out in the forest. He's not dead, and I think he's gonna help us get all the kids out.
Wait, that was Will's ghost.
Oh, he's come back for unfinished business.
He's a vengeful spirit.
No, his unfinished business is getting the kids out.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
How do you all feel about Will? Good? Good feelings?
Yeah, what do you two think about Will of the Feywild?
All I know about Will is Granny is very determined to find him. All we ever know is of Will is Grammy says we do not interact with him because he is a bad guy. But I don't believe that. Granny is a bad guy herself. So I am disinclined to believe her.
You've got good intuition on that, Wick.
What if we release those kids? What if we go through and get them out of their handcuffs and their ankle cuffs
Yeah.
and do that while Will does whatever Will does?
We can definitely start on that. I think the kids should act like we can free them, but they should act normal
Yeah.
until we deal with
Totally
Granny.
normal.
Till we deal with the Granny.
We should also think about the tin soldiers because there will be a very big
yeah.
problem.
They're really
And-
obnoxious too.
And
If 10 soldiers, I didn't see any soldiers.
I dealt with them. They were very weird about me walking around until I convinced them that Granny
Yes.
told me I could go places.
they do
Oh.
not like people walking around, and we should probably take care of the scarecrows.
Right
That's
now, I
true.
look like they're elder, which means I can order them around.
I'm just throwing out ideas.
and
We are huddling.
That works for you, Scinn? When people older than you tell you what to do, you do what they say?
I mean, I did everything that they told me to that Mr. Light and Mr. Witch told me,
That's a
so...
good point.
Well,
And they're
most of the
all
kids would
Yeah.
not cause too much problem. We've been beaten and battered, and we don't have much. What's it? Will. We
Mm.
don't have much will to do much of anything because we are terrified.
Yeah,
Well, fortunately, we brought Will of our own, and he's out in the woods somewhere. And perhaps we should, just, as we meet and free an individual child, send them his direction. He seemed
Yeah, we-
capable enough. That was a big spell he cast
We can
at one
we
time.
can tell them to like be inconspicuous as they go out.
Yeah.
To go single file, not in groups.
Yes, to hide their numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like, and I turned back to the two boys. You know, take turns, don't do it together, and just kind of like wander out. Don't act suspicious. Don't look behind you or anything. Just like you're just walking around.
Is there a place we should go?
I point out in the direction of the woods where I saw Will. You know, just
Like
past the
past
garden.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys have been out to the garden because that's where you wait the nightshade. So it won't be weird if you're out by the garden, right?
I
Be
mean,
careful of the scarecrows.
Yeah.
what do the scarecrows do?
We've been told they scream.
Oh, that's
From personal experience, they scream and chase after you when you try to escape. I've tried to escape many times.
So maybe don't go that direction. Maybe sneak to the front, and if they ask where you're going, just come up with a lie.
They say you have to go to the bathroom out in the woods or something.
Yeah.
No
so you
one,
gotta-
no one questions you when you say you have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, tell them the bathroom when
Okay,
it's clogged up.
If it's going to be a big ordeal, we could just escort them ourselves.
That's true.
But
Then they're gonna ask if they catch us why we're walking around with so many kids.
well, I'm assuming that it's better that they catch us and have us lie, who are better liars, or if it comes down to a fight, that we fight because we're better fighters, than
Oh,
leaving the children to their own devices.
Excellent
that-
point, Cheshire.
prob-
That's why
that-
you're the smart
yeah.
one of the group.
You and I, my friend. You and I.
He's gonna like pat your leg.
So, by the way, we've been running around this house for a while. More Rob. any more weird tugs at my conscience?
You have had not a conscious tug, but you feel that urge to want to smile, but you can't.
Okay. Okay. So yes. Anyway, let's. Wick, where will we find more of the children? Were they concentrated in that workshop area? Or?
Somewhere in the workshop, somewhere all over the place. There is more sleeping areas like this.
Are you restrained at all while you sleep? Or just
Sometimes
guarded?
if we're really bad, we get chained to the bed. This is why I have so many cuts on my feet. And he like lifts up his little claws, and you can see his like wrapped legs with bloody
buddy.
bandages.
Hmm. Well,
Just for
maybe.
Because we're family. I'm gonna cut Granny's feet off just for you.
Oh,
Like
you're
one
so
little
sweet.
dagger slides up, like completely just like, like completely dead-eyed.
like wipes away a tear. Like,
Yeah, like it's just like a.
To your knowledge, there are, including Wick, there are 11 children. Not
So,
all of
including the 3 we have now, Wick and the 2 boys.
them. There's 11 total.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there would be
8 more to fall.
8 more to find. You know for sure where 2 of them are in the workshop. The rest you haven't seen.
I can go back to the workshop and get them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
have
I
them
can
do that.
escort. I can escort these 2 out now if we
I-
want to try that,
think-
or do we want to wait?
I can go with you, or I can stay to find kids. I don't know if they'll like our grandpa.
At this point, I think I'm probably I struggle to find an in-character way to say that I'm running low on magic. So my swords are going to be more useful. So I will go wherever you feel there is more likely to be a tussle.
Why don't you go with Wick and help with the kids, and Cheshire and I'll take these 2 out to the woods.
Yeah.
And we'll meet back up in the workroom.
That'll work. That'll work.
He's gonna quickly turn to Pud and be like,
Listen here, kid. If you rat us out because we're taking you out first, you don't want to know what's gonna happen.
I made that pinky promise.
I promise.
Right.
You save me, I will have no reason to turn you in. You saved Brotor. Like, I literally owe you everything.
I think you tried to kill.
It was a
Anyway.
joke.
Yeah, it's not a joke if someone dies. You gotta understand that.
I take
At least
his
it's not a funny
hand.
one.
I take his hand and I like pat it and I say, "We'll work on your comedy skills later."
Okay.
I start to walk out with the boys and Cheshire and towards me.
cut to the 2 tinies that are just like going down the hall like,
Yeah.
We turn to Sawyer about 20 paces away. Think, we planned this poorly.
You know, feel like Wick's pretty responsible though.
I feel like we're going to come back to a burning house or burning children. Really,
Let's
with no
hope
middle
that
ground.
Let's hope it's the first one and not the second one.
That is what I'm going for.
down the
Oh,
hall. You just hear,
Oh crap! You big got water.
no, I'm kidding.
What did you do? Why is it on fire?
I sneezed. I'm sorry. You lose control of your body when you get old.
Okay, so you guys are taking the two children out to the woods. Are you going back at the way you came, or are you going out through the garden?
I think
The way we came was through the garden, right? Or do you mean
No,
like
no, no,
originally?
like back to the workshop and like out past the dead dragon.
Oh, we saw Will while we were in the garden, right?
Yeah, he's probably
yeah.
pretty close to L5 on the map,
Okay.
in the forest area there.
Yeah, I think going straight back towards the garden is a faster path, right?
Yes,
Um,
which would presumably leave less alone time for our tiny friends.
so
Yeah, and get
you
these kids out
are up in
sooner.
L8 currently, which there is so there's a balcony and then stairs that go directly to the garden right there.
Okay. Yeah, we'll take those stairs straight down then.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check to see how you make your way across the garden to the woods.
Okay.
Bad. Can I add a guidance?
You have one?
I have a couple from last session that I didn't use.
That's probably good, yes. Oh my god, my sleight of hand is godly. I forgot I had those invisible gloves. You sure you wouldn't rather a sleight of hand check to sneak around? I got a 13.
Okay.
Thanks to my guidance, I got a dirty 20.
Dirty
Ooh.
20. What'd you get, Rob?
13.
13.
Lucky number 13.
I'll say.
And can I have one of the boys on my back to kind of, a one less amount of footfalls on the ground?
Sure.
With him up there.
I'm gonna take kind of the average between your two rolls. So I'd say a 17, 16, 17.
Okay.
So I'll say that is enough to kind of get through the garden without setting off any alarms.
Solid work.
So
Once we're to the garden, I would like to take advantage of my speed that I have.
okay.
And with one of the boys on my back, I'm going to pick up the other one, and I'm just gonna full bolt run out towards the woods with them.
Yeah. You make it out into the woods, leaving Cheshire behind.
I
How fast
let
is
him
you?
at 40 feet.
Yeah, I'm not far behind you.
Okay.
I'm only 5 feet slower.
Okay.
Yeah, I figure this is something we communicate as we're going. Like, okay, kid on
Yeah.
the back, let's get down this way. We're gonna go fast.
Okay. Yeah.
Gotta go fast.
So you guys get out there. No issues. And what are you doing once you get out there?
I'm gonna look around to see if Will's in the nearby area.
Go
I
ahead.
mean, I don't want to shout, but I'll be like, "Hey, Will, you out here?"
You don't hear anything in return. I would say you see some like a beaten path that almost looks like it kind of goes through the woods and circles Loom Lurch, but nothing that is concrete. That he's there. It's just this
Okay.
is a path that has been traveled through the woods to be hidden as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What do you think, Cheshire? Should we have them just tuck themselves away out here, or?
Can I make a perception check with Sawyer just to see if there is any will or otherwise if we're alone out here?
Sure.
I'm gonna be banking on you, darling, cause 5.
I'm gonna take the average of them again.
I got an 18.
It's like a 12, probably. You hear like footsteps off in the distance, but not really anything close to you, and they do sound large.
Okay. Distance like 60 feet or like 300 feet?
Probably closer to 300-ish, like way off in
Okay.
the distance.
Almost
More of like a like with each step you hear some like crashing and like branches and stuff breaking.
Like a big
right,
walking
children.
tree man.
Could be. Could be the before mentioned Jabberwock.
Oh.
All right. I'm content to let them hide here. 'Cause I think we have a duty to the ones that are still remaining to try and help them. And children are good at hide and seek. I'm very bad at finding them, typically. And there's lots of like loam and shrubbery.
Yeah. And tall
um,
branches.
And if they get into too much trouble, then they just run towards the garden and are captured again, and we're still in the business of freeing everyone. So what's
That's
the worst they
true.
can do? Bring them back to us?
Yeah. All right. Boys, if you're good at finding small places to crawl into, or if you're really good at climbing trees, now's the time to find the best hiding place.
I bet I can beat you to the top of that tree, brother.
Yeah.
And-
All right. So it don't come out until you hear us say the word Lucinda. Okay?
Lucinda.
That's the magic word. Nothing else.
Okay. Lucinda. Lucinda.
Lucinda.
Plufenda. Mufasa.
Lucinda.
Lucinda. Got it.
Yeah. Okay.
As he tries to, Pud climbs the tree, and Brotor's trying to climb it, but being a dwarf and having shorter legs, he's not making any ground. And Pud's just kind of giggling at him down below.
I'll give him like a little step up
little
to
boost
help
up.
him up into it. Yeah.
Okay. And
We have a lightened mood, by the by, from Icy.
I see.
Okay. I gotta look for an opportunity to use that. So now that they are secured in the tree, what are Wick and Scinn doing?
I imagine that like we made it to the workshop safe and sound.
Fully.
With minimal like sneeze, fires, and
casualty, yeah.
casualty. But max silliness.
Yep.
They're
They're like
stealthing
peeking.
along.
They're like peeking around doors, thinking that they're hidden, but they're not.
It's just beak.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just nothing but beak around the
working
doors.
your
Not-
way down the
Not to
stairs.
interrupt too much.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever said that Manny's came back, and Manny contributed more community gift subs to the
Yeah.
fund
Yeah.
tonight.
Aw, thank you.
And Cheesecake Panda Cause just donated too.
What a nerd.
Wow.
God.
They sound great.
I
They're the kind of person that plays with rats.
I've heard they are an amazing cosplayer, like top notch.
I did hear the same thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Thanks, Ty.
I hope one day I get to meet them.
So as Wick
Aw.
and Scinn are making their way down the stairs, you come across a single door on the right-hand side before you get to the base of the floor. Are you going in, checking it out? What are you doing?
We should check it out. Why not? What's the worst that could happen?
We can go in. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, you are from here, so.
I have no idea where like most of these doors lead.
Oh well, never mind. He trusts that you know where we're going. So.
Very confidently, Wick opens the door or tries to open the door.
Thean's there, occasionally giving you like a like snapping his head back and forth to watch for anybody.
As you walk in, you open the door and walk in. You hear a voice yell, "Thunderhead!" Those tatties.
Wait a second. Thunderhead?
Dunderhead.
I was about to say,
Thunderhead.
do you remember Thunderhead? Strong, strong powers. Nice man, good with kids.
No capes.
Sorry, that's one of my favorite movies.
Man, that should be one of my booth cosplays is Edna, so that I can be like, no capes.
Fucking A!
Oh my
That would be
God,
awesome.
please.
The scratchy voice yells out, "Dunderhead! Those tatty sleeves wouldn't serve as socks for a chicken. Start again."
I didn't know chickens were.
As you are looking upon this scene, you see a plump halfling boy and a young, fluffy bugbear sitting at workbenches, watched over by a living child-sized doll with buttons for eyes. An animated carpet prances around the children, who pay it no attention. The sewing room contains rolls of fabric, bobbins of thread, knitting needles, and pincushions.
You say thank you, Ori, for all the
What
gifts.
are you doing?
There's more gifts.
Yeah.
Manny has gifted 2 more community subs,
Oh my
which, by the way,
goodness.
Twitch keeps tallies of this. That is his 141st and 142nd in 3 stinking
Wow.
days,
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
which is followed by Leo Yeager coming in, who is now in our community Discord and is following us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
what
another
up?
10, which that's 70 for Jaeger, and Maddie gifted 1 to Mr.
did.
Shika Dance, which is still one of my favorite names.
This is
Yeah.
a great name.
Thank all you guys. What does that do to our sub goal?
We're at
Did we just-
374.
There it went,
There
375.
it is.
Okay, where did it go? Did I put it down somewhere? Oh no, guys, I lost the prize.
So this is our second stretch goal that we've reached in a week, like 3 days.
Technically the
Yeah.
third.
Technically the
third,
third, because we
yeah.
gave away Dragon Dice and a custom Mimic box. Thank you,
That's
Tyler. We need to
true.
talk about that. And then a leather tray.
Yeah, we got the train.
And now a
Hi.
rifle stud. And guys, okay. I barely recovered from Monday.
All right,
Fuck
let me
all
get out.
you.
Let me get out the mimic so that people can see. We're giving away a custom print mimic.
Thank you, Rob.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Ty. I appreciate you guys.
I-
Icy is
whoever-
excited.
Whoever gets the mimic.
Can you get more than 1 hype train in a freaking night?
Yes, you can.
We
Yes,
just
you
did
can.
it.
Okay, we did.
Whoever can choose, whoever gets the mimic can choose baby mimic or big mimic.
Oh,
Also, what is
snap.
she doing? I don't have a hand to get you, sweetheart. I'm so sorry. Just fall.
Here, we're at.
There you go.
Let me pull up Twitch on my phone. That guys, you guys are maniacs. I don't the world. My perception of the world is broken. Y'all go ahead and keep roleplay. Sorry.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Dan's gonna turn to Wick and
Damn.
be like,
Did I do the fire now?
we should probably wait to see what is going on.
Okay.
Wick
Not really
uses
good at waiting, but okay.
Wick uses Mage Hand to get both of their attention.
it's just 2
Like-
tiny heads like looking around the door, just say look back. Oh no.
Oh no, we broke him.
Me? No.
What?
What? It's fine. I'm fine. Just cheers, everybody.
Oh, I didn't have to. Well, dang.
Thank you,
Just
guys.
noticed I have a once use of fairy magic for reduce and large. I used a spell slot. Oh well.
Aw.
As you guys are
fucking cool.
I'm sorry, I heard you say mage hand whenever.
Yeah, I'm using my mage hand to put one on each shoulder of the two that are in there, or the two that are talking, to like gently get their attention.
Okay. And are you wanting them to turn around to you?
Kind of. More to like get their attention, be like, hey guys, stop arguing for 5 seconds. It's not nice to call people dunderheads.
No, they didn't call each other dunderheads.
Oh.
It was the living doll.
The living doll is definitely not coming with us because that thing's creepy. Decisions have been made.
I love that we have Wick delegating who gets to go. You, not you.
You're cool. Suck noodles.
So
you're cool.
There's
Absolutely not you.
There's the halfling boy and a fluffy bugbear that are sitting at the bench working. Oh. There is there's a living doll and a floating carpet that are kind of watching over them as guards, essentially.
The mage hands do anything, or did they just kind of?
They just got the bugbear and the dwarf's attention,
and they look at like, "Don't touch me." Well, I'm like, "I didn't touch you. Don't touch me."
Dan's gonna quickly like scoot Wick around the corner so that there's a wall covering them. Be like,
all right, better at sneaking. You're also a whole lot quieter than I am, so I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna tackle the crap out of that doll, you hear me? You get those kids and you run.
This is a good plan.
All right. Let me just get into character. Red leather, yellow leather, red,
Wait.
yellow. Okay, I got it.
Massaging your shoulders.
He just goes like screaming like George of the Jungle, like flying in like straight at that.
As you come around that corner screaming, you are immediately tackled by this rug that is tackled. Oh, that's an echo. I didn't like hearing myself. The rug just kind of almost preemptively heard you coming and tackles you.
I wonder how.
I know, right? It was weird. When a rug
Satsuo said you were being good. You were good at being quiet.
When
what
a
is
rug
it?
has a character, a
no
stat
one good
block.
at being quiet.
Oh, crap.
So the rug kind of tackles you and basically starts wrapping itself around you quickly and almost smothering you.
I'm gonna use, if it matters at all, while it's starting to wrap, I'm gonna use my free use, because I didn't do it before. My free use of reduce enlarge.
Okay.
Once again become tiny. Because if he comes one size bigger, that's not gonna help him at all. He's gonna once again become tiny and try to run out as it's beginning to wrap him up. Oh, you found the camera.
What would be
You're so good at that.
What would be a good role to contest an escape? Like I have.
You do it like a grapple.
That's basically what it is. So what would you roll against it? It says escape DC X.
Like a
usually
dex?
usually I will let my players pick between a dex and an athletics, depending on how they're planning to go in this situation. He's not very athletic, so it's probably more dexterous. But
sure. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll a dex saving throw. Or yeah.
All right.
Escape throw.
Can we try the big fancies?
Oh yeah. Oh wow, that's so many lickings on it. Okay. It should be terrible this time.
I want a set of those so bad.
They're so cool, and they do jingle. Like for anybody who's never
Oh,
seen
yeah.
hollow metal dice.
I know. That's my next set.
Rob, you need to make sure some of those make their way to C2.
The
We have
C2?
any
Yeah.
left.
Why? You know someone who wants some?
I do know somebody that wants some.
Who'd that be?
Me.
Oh, didn't you know they're sold out, bud?
I did not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
look
sold
at 'em.
out at Denver.
We
Aw.
sold them
then-
out at Denver.
Yeah.
And then somebody went around and found every other dice set that they had, even though they sold out at Denver, and collected them for nefarious purposes.
Oh.
Which you would know if you were watching Monday Night Stream.
Hey, you know what?
You tuned in later.
I did tune in later, but I had the stream pulled up the whole time.
Ah.
If I
do.
could quickly interject, I'll spoil the surprise. I got a set for you, bud. I'm going to mail it to you tomorrow.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Aw.
No need for that.
Oh.
I found, I can say it here because none of them are watching. I found 5 sets. So I'm sending one to Crash and Ellie, who were a part of our big stream Monday.
Monday.
I'm sending one to you because you expressed an interest in them last week. And I'm giving one away as a giveaway that we've already won. We're going to draw a winner at the end of the month. Then I'm going to have one to just sit on until something crazy happens on Twitch again.
Like my birthday in August.
Speaking of stuff, Existential Nerd offered to contribute to our 375 sub goal as well, which again, blown out of the water. I don't know what number I can put in front of you guys that will stop you.
None.
But-
Unstoppable.
A million.
There's a giveaway in the chat right now that he's contributed 2 free months of Game Pass Ultimate for a new account. So if you don't have Game Pass, then you can get it. And if you do have Game Pass, but you know someone who doesn't, you can be a big baller and give them 2 months free.
Game Pass, Rob.
Yeah, Game Pass.
What is it? For anyone
Um,
who maybe doesn't know.
I'm sure Eric is going to explain it all in the chat. There's a little thing in the chat which has tells you how to participate, and we'll draw a winner when we end the stream. He wants it to go ahead and go out to somebody and someone be enjoying it.
Ah.
It's Xbox Game Pass, I think. So it's Microsoft's PC or 360, or not 360 because they don't have 360s anymore, or Xbox game subscription service.
So what was your escape roll?
Wasn't the best roll. It was 15.
15. Okay.
Yeah, she did me a little dirty this time with a middle of the road roll, but that's okay. You're cute.
So as this rug is wrapping around you very aggressively, you shrink down to a smaller size and you're able to run out the other end before it completely suffocates, like locks you in essentially.
Completely high pitched little scream, just like running as he's running out of there. Yeah, and he'll stay
Wick
tiny.
yells, "Light it on fire!"
Gotcha, buddy.
I mean, I have ways to light it on fire. I don't know if we need to do an initiative at this particular point before I keep doing things.
With
but-
it being the time that it is, I'm gonna go ahead and call the session for the night.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, we can hang out and chill for a minute.
We should definitely chill for a little bit
Yeah.
so people can enter the
Yeah, absolutely.
sort of last minute giveaway that we're doing.
Yeah. It's exclamation point ticket 10 with a space, it looks like, and you can go ahead and get tickets. There's only a maximum of 20 tickets that anybody can buy, and there's very few, like a respectable number, but a relatively small number of people have survived to know about this giveaway in our stream. So your chance of winning are pretty good.
Yeah.
So tonight's session was super fun, guys. Like,
Yeah.
Got a lot done.
you did get a lot
We're
done.
doing things.
This is the Wick difference, guys.
The Wick difference keeps
is
you on
changing
track.
the game.
would you guys be interested in, like, if there's a week that we need to have, like, someone has to be off, maybe doing just kind of like a campaign recap stream, like, as a backup? Talk about things that have happened, kind of recap
Oh yeah,
everything
like
that's
going
happened so
through.
far. Like memorable moments that you really enjoyed, things that you didn't enjoy.
We
That would
weren't
be
so.
fun.
It'll be a
We weren't
longer
low.
conversation.
If we weren't low level, I'd say we could do a battle royale that week. There's the last one up, but that'll go down pretty fast.
Yeah.
None of us have enough hit points to make that last more than a couple rounds. So
What I wonder if there could be a way we could do it where
we'd have to bump levels or just make random characters to have as a battle royale. But
that, or have there be health potions and stuff after each round, kind of like Fable had a like
Crucible?
the arena essentially.
Yeah,
Like do something
yeah.
kind of like that, where you could have your characters in play, or if you wanted to create a new one, that's definitely something we could talk about doing.
Yeah.
then I'll be sad because I'm probably going to be the one that misses, and I'll be sad that I can't die on screen.
I think that's an especially good idea for if someone can't make it to a Wednesday night, is to have a where they started, where they are conversation, Rob.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah,
would
that
be a
sounds
good
fun.
one.
Do an interview with the players, announce it a week prior and have people submit questions.
Or an interview with the characters.
Yeah, interview with the
Oh.
characters.
Have it be like Hunger Games style. It's like
That
Do I
would
need to
be
cut
fun,
shark
like a
fins into my
Q&A.
beard?
But I
Oh,
think
man.
that would be a
That
good
would be
like
fun.
filler if someone can't make it, and
Yeah.
that'd be fun. Would anybody in chat be interested in kind of? I don't know, because I get distracted really easy. I kind of think I might have a little bit of ADHD, but
Only tiny.
I don't look at stream like whenever we're going at all. Like seeing the chat, I have it pulled up now because I'm not doing anything.
That's how you survive when Manny and Jaeger roll up.
I'm
Why
an
didn't I think
emotionless
of that?
robot. But
Good night, Sarah.
like
Thank you,
just
hon.
all of
Bye,
the distractions
Yes.
and being a newer DM. That's how I keep myself on. Like,
That's very fair.
focused. But I don't know. Okay, I know some people have been with us since episode 1, and we're what, like
13?
13,
This is
14?
13.
I
Like,
thought last week was 13.
If it is, then I haven't gotten episode 13 from Rob yet.
that's very possible as well.
Ah.
Okay, then this may be 14, and I've mislabeled the episode.
That's
I
what,
think-
8, 12. That's 3.5 months worth of this campaign.
That's so crazy to me. It still feels like we've
Not to mention
barely
we've
even
had
started,
some
you know?
some breaks throughout because of cons and life and all of that. So
Yeah, you took over Wednesday nights from me, which has been a big blessing in my ability to keep this stream going, by the way. Pretty quick after we started playing D&D.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty soon after the stream started at all.
We put that video up.
I mean, if you want your stream back, you can have it, Rob.
No, that's okay.
I have my
One-
own channel that I can do this on.
That's true. You're-
I won't, but I could.
I won't, but
I won't.
I'm pretty
So-
sure my my local community would just be like, what are you doing?
Huh?
But speaking of local communities, Tyler, shout out your socials. Where can everyone find you?
Cheesecake Banda cosplay on. If you don't find that name, not on that social media.
I mean, basically.
Mhm.
I mean, you can find Tyler here. Tyler like
lives here.
does not miss a stream.
And you have an Etsy store that you sell your earrings and stuff in, right?
Yeah, I have. Mostly, it's just patterns up right now.
Gotcha.
armor
which are
patterns.
great. I've used some of them and tried them out.
Oh my god,
I'm waiting. Earrings are gonna go up once KJ picks what she's taking, so I don't have to photograph those.
I started some foam crafting, and I made the knight helmet from SKS Props. That's my experience of foam work. But for my male Vi that I've been doing, I decided that I'm going to do the Atlas gauntlets. And I've already given up on this twice.
Don't do it. Don't give up.
My lovely wife has been helping me, and we now have a shape and some fingers down in the garage.
You guys should talk to Crash, because she's just finished those gauntlets too.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always so intimidated to talk to Crash. I don't know why.
Oh my gosh, no, she's like the nicest person ever. I bug her all the time now.
I get that. I'm also scared of Crash. It's a dude thing.
I'm just like, it's scary. Maddie.
Everybody.
I met her in person, and I actually met her when we were younger. But I met her in person in Orlando and came away from that weekend thinking she was very mad at me. And she may have been, but that was my impression of that weekend.
I'm a big fan of Crash. I reply to all of her stories now, and she's always like, So.
On the note of socials, because there were a couple people in the chat tonight that wanted to see this little one in her sweater of regret. Just put the video on Twitter, so yeah, in your regret sweater, huh?
She was very fashionable.
Maddie, where can everyone find you? Are you working on anything super fancy, cool?
Well, I want to add a couple things to my Fern that I Rush did for Fan Expo Denver, so I should be getting some real photos of her soon, which will be fun. That I'm very excited about. But y'all can find me if you go to my Instagram, which is what the @ below my character name is. I've got a link tree and all of that. I wasn't the first Maddie who thought Mademoiselle was a clever username, so I've had to get creative with some periods and underscores in places. So the easiest way to find all my stuff is the link tree that I have. But yeah.
You start typing Cheesecake Panda into anything that's going to have it, and you get to the P, and it goes, I know who you want.
So there's only one.
There can only be one.
Oddly enough, no one else wanted to be the D&D wannabe.
Misfit, what do you got? Where can everyone find you?
Oh, I'm so easy to find. It's Misfit _Playland everywhere.
And how's your
and tell us how your
fundraiser going?
Yes.
Oh, your mic died.
Yourself.
Oh,
there it is. Oh,
did I mute myself? Wait,
you're good. You're good.
Okay.
But tell us everything.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going really well. I have 24 backpacks.
Awesome.
I've got
That's amazing.
50 boxes of crayons. I've got fun prize erasers, and I've got pencil slips that'll clip into 3-ring binders. And we've raised over $250 so far.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
As someone who works in education, that this kind of stuff means so much to teachers in classrooms.
Yep.
You're really making an impact, and it's so cool to see.
I want to. I set a goal. I was everything that I get. Excuse me. Allergies are the
They're
worst.
so bad. I hate allergies.
But yeah, everything that I gets donated or bought off the wish list that I have or whatever. If it doesn't go into a backpack, then it's just going to be donated to a school.
That is so cool. It makes me so happy.
I'm going so far as I've decided that each backpack that I put together, I'm also giving him a water bottle because being hydrated is really important to me. So I'm just
what?
Kids, be hydrated.
especially after all the COVID restrictions at schools. I know in the district that I work in, we couldn't have public water fountains. And we have a lot of low-income kids who did not have their own reusable water bottles. So that kind of stuff is like crucial nowadays because so many schools don't have water fountains accessible anymore. They'd have to like go up to the cafeteria and then they're not in the classroom and stuff. So that's really awesome.
Wow. I
That's
didn't
really
know
cool.
that. I had no idea. I was just like, being hydrated is really important to me. And we live in Florida, so it's super hot in the summertime and like in, you know, springtime and whatnot. So it's like they need water.
No, that's perfect.
That's so yay. That's actually cool. I didn't know that. Yay.
No, I love it.
We're going supply shopping on July 27th, and I'm actually going to record all of that.
Cool.
So I'm going to record myself at the store, and then I'm going to try to edit it down as much as possible. I can't post those videos anywhere else but Facebook, so I have like an update video of like all the things that I've got on my Facebook page, which is Misfit Playland. So
everyone go check out that Facebook page.
Yes.
Especially if you want to keep up to date with what's going on with the fundraiser, it's like the best place to keep up with it.
Rob, where can everyone find you? How's the podcast going? How's your stream going?
Sorry, I
Tell us
will only
about your stream.
I will only be addressed by my proper name, Maddie, if you please.
Rog,
Yes.
tell us about your stream. How's it going? Where can we find you?
Oh, well, so sorry, if you just start talking about Rob and his stream and his D&D and his beard, we won't know who you're talking about. I must be addressed properly.
Gotta work on that like g sound.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am.
First G off of grog, and you'll have it.
Nah. So I'm Rob. I'm the D&D wannabe. I'm the guy whose face is pretty much perpetually on this platform. That's as many P's as I could fit in for you. I do have a podcast, and I'm going to talk about it in a second. I have a YouTube channel. I'm going to talk about it in a second. The main thing that I do is Twitch, which is here, which is this, which as of this week is doing better than ever, out of nowhere and for no particular rhyme or reason except for the random maniacal generosity of viewers like you. Thank you, Maddie. Every now and again, we hit the same wavelength, and I love it. But I will talk about the podcast because we don't talk about the podcast all that often.
Yeah.
Me and my twin brother have a podcast called Bardic Twinspiration.
You have a twin?
I have a twin. I know. And our voices sound pretty much the same, so we thought that an audio-only medium would be a great way for us to put but we talk about D&D, how we got our start in it, parts of the game that we do like, parts of the game that we don't like so much. And we do a cute little skit at the beginning of every episode, and after the episode is over, we have little bloopers that we made during recording. And we just decided that we're going to be spending our free time talking about D&D anyway. We might as well put it out there for people who might enjoy it to enjoy it. So episodes come out fairly infrequently. We shoot for every 2 weeks, but life happens. He's got 3 kids. I have a wildly successful Dungeons & Dragons stream.
Yeah, you do.
And I am out of town a lot for conventions and things for my company. Or not my company, the company that I work for. It is not my company yet. Yeah, I'm going to get my ass kicked for that one. By an enormous Viking man. But it is... Okay. We're currently going through, we mentioned it earlier, are the top 10 cantrips across all of the classes in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. The cantrips 10 through 6 dropped last Saturday, and in 2 Saturdays, cantrips 5 through number 1, and cantrip number 42, the worst cantrip in the game, is also included in the first in the top 5 episode. Anyone want to guess what the worst cantrip in the game is? Come on, somebody in the chat's gonna know.
What's a cantrip?
Hold on, I'm pulling up a list. Don't say anything yet. I'm gonna figure this out.
Hard.
I mean, if it was me, I kind of pick mending. I think that's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Mending is bad, and
Yeah.
Steve goes out of his way to talk about how bad mending is, but it's not the worst one in the game.
You better not say Druidcraft, because I think Druidcraft's fun.
I think Druidcraft's fun.
Okay. Some people are like, Druidcraft's useless. And I'm like, no.
Oh, wait a second.
I love Druidcraft.
Eric, you wound me. Jim Scheller. Jim Scheller in the chat knows what's up.
True Strike.
True Strike is
True
the
Strike?
worst
Okay.
cantrip in the game. And if
Interesting.
you don't know why already, in a week and a half you will, because we talk about it at length in our episode, and we even use our introductory skit for the cantrips episode to make fun of True Strike. And Steve portrays a bard for the first time in his life, and his idea of what a bard acts like is so offensive to me. I love it.
That's so funny because I used to play with someone who overused True Strike. And
No, it's so
thinking
bad.
about it now, it did waste a lot of time.
Yes. Okay. A link to the podcast Spotify page is in the chat now if you want to go check it out. It would mean a lot to us. The more listens we get, the more fractions of pennies we get, and
Yeah.
money from the podcast goes to Steve and his 3 kids.
Woo, that's exciting.
Oh, that is the thing. He doesn't know I'm going to bring this up, but very shortly, my little nephew, who has cerebral palsy, is going under the knife for spinal surgery to try and give him motion that he has never had in his life in his upper and lower body. We are praying people. If you are praying people, we would appreciate prayers. If you just want to send good vibes or good thoughts, or drop Steve a message in the next couple of weeks in the Discord, all of that will go a long way. It is a scary time to be a parent when you
Yeah.
are risking your child's ability to move to try and give them the ability to move better.
We're sending a
I'm
lot
not
of
gonna
love
cry.
All the love.
I mean, I'm just an uncle, and it's tough on me. I can't imagine what
Yeah, that's scary.
Steve and Marietta are going through.
So please go.
That's a
send
dark
them
note to
all
end
the
on.
love.
Anyone want to send to tell a joke or
Ah.
something? Hey, you know what? Let me go and finish this giveaway that Eric ever so generously did. Eric, do you want to throw your since you're contributing to this, do you want to throw your Twitch into the chat here so people can go see what you get up to? You've been playing a lot of V Rising lately, vampire role-playing survival game V Rising. All right, 26 tickets were purchased over the past several minutes. We have a few entrants, and I don't count. So let's see. Confused Mind is the winner of the game.
Congratulations.
Confused Mind, if you aren't already in the community Discord, follow the link that we are about to post in the chat. And I will DM you, myself or the nerd, or perhaps both, will DM you the code to use to get your 2 months of Game Pass Ultimate, so that you can play some games.
There's some super fun games on there too. So
Yes.
I'm a big fan of Sea of Thieves, but Rob didn't want to give it the time of day, so
It's that I don't have the time of day to give it, my friend. I haven't sat down to play a game besides BioShock on stream in a hot... I haven't really sat down to play something seriously since Elden Ring, and that game took hundreds of hours of my life away. No regrets, but still. Okay, Friday...
I need to make you a tiny little sweater of regret. Buy another baby sock and just
Just leave it on.
So guys,
We can share her. She doesn't need him anymore.
I'll be honest, I don't know what we're doing Friday yet. I've been working on my penmanship. I've been editing a video of Monday's stream to try and show people a progression of my deterioration, my descent into madness, so that people could enjoy that.
And me calling you Rog the whole
And
time.
Miku calling me
Yes.
Rog does feature
Just need to
heavily.
put in Just need to put in crash every now and then, being like, I need to see how much money that is.
Yeah, she was.
She kept calculating.
I was too scared to calculate. I was afraid that would send me down a deeper spiral. But I did leave in all of the "Who the fuck is Manny?" So that was good. Eric suggests golf with your friends for Friday. I could do that. Because we did Jackbox last time. Anyway, if you want to know what we're playing Friday, I'll post about it in the Discord as soon as we have decided. Monday, we all know what we're doing. We're playing some more Dungeons and Dragons. We're gonna continue with a broken heart. We left it on kind of a cliffhanger. A trap was set, and there is an intelligent creature that is going toe to toe with our 4 heroes and heroes and heroines. It should be a good time. I have a lot of questions I want the players to be asking, and I'm going to try and present them with those questions in as rapid a fashion as possible, because campaigns tend to die on me while I try and build suspense. So we're just going to front load this campaign and see where it goes. All right. So,
what a stream!
Confused Mind is in the chat. Congratulations on winning. Hit, like I said, join the Discord, hit us up, and we will get you that code. Yeah. And that is all that I had to say, Rob.
Yeah. Everybody, we love you.